And we're live. Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to tonight's show. I'm Chris, the Atheist Pastor, and tonight this is a very special one that we're calling Israel Folau. This is a special. Sorry, that was good. What a good way to start. On fire here. Okay.
Oh, it's America.
So this is a special tribute to a good friend, Israel Folau, and we're going to talk about, I guess, some of the stuff that he's done. So what I'll do is I'll start off. I mean, you guys are probably all better known than me, but I guess we'll go around and I'll just get everyone to quickly let us know who you are and tell everyone where they can find you. So we'll start with Jen.
Oh, geez, thanks. Hi, I'm Jenny. You can find me on Jen's Little Corner, both on Twitter and YouTube, and yeah, that's me.
and what are you drinking tonight, Jen?
Oh, yep. What am I drinking? I am drinking Black Label Johnny Walker.
Ooh, keep walking.
Fantastic. Now, for those who are, I guess, on the other side of the world, we are in Australia. It is late at night, and it is a Friday night here, so we're going to do
it's the right night to be drinking.
And probably have a couple. Absolutely. So for all of those in the US where it's 6 in the morning and you're getting ready for the weekend, we're already there. So we'll
it
go over
sucks to be you.
Well, that's
anyway, it's thanks. There, it's just
it's
after
Thanksgiving.
So
They're probably all having a long weekend, you know.
Oh, yeah.
None of them will be awake. That's what that means.
No, they'll be awake at Walmart for those sales. That's what
Black Friday.
Killing people for a PlayStation.
I don't know. I'm NotJah Witness, and I do NotJah Witnessy things, and other things and stuff. Come check me out. I'm basically like what I'm known as is like the guy that nobody knows who that guy is, but I'm actually the guy that's always on Mero's ass.
Yeah.
If you've watched any one of my videos, you'd know exactly what I'm talking about.
I misheard
It's
that.
a damn fine ass.
I didn't hear that as on. I totally misheard that.
Might have been intentional.
Might have been intentional. Oh, you were hinting at that, were you?
And
You wish you were on my ass, Jen. You wish you were on my ass.
And what's your drinking choice tonight, Nacho?
Oh, just a nice beer. Well, it's not a nice beer, actually. It's just a beer.
It's
just
4X. It's 4X.
It's 4X, yeah.
Oh,
Damn, that's bad. It's not even
It is better than VB.
Do you have no
better than most American beers?
Yeah.
It's better than VB.
Yeah, but piss is probably better than VB. So.
Yeah.
Unless it's cold.
Legit. A cold piss?
Yeah, unless it's cold piss, it's not better.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
I'm going to say out of that one.
Refrigerates the urine.
What you know?
Dangers of woo.
So this has gotten off to a good start. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh yeah, we're blaming you. I thought I'd get blamed. No, you've done it now. It's entirely your fault.
Demonetized.
I'm not even.
Well, now that's happened, I might as well put up some nudity.
Yeah.
You always put up nudity. Didn't you do that to Neil the other day?
Well.
Hey, what? Who?
Didn't you do that to Neil the other day?
Nudity. No, there was no nudity in that one.
No, there wasn't.
There wasn't. Oh, he was a good boy for a change.
I was a good boy.
No fun in that.
If you want nudity, I can give you fucking nudity.
We're all in front of a device that can give us nudity.
Touche.
Actually, that picture behind me is of a naked woman.
Oh well, we're screwed. That's it.
Beautiful. It's actually a really lovely.
Ruined the whole stream.
It's really hard to show you, but yeah, it's actually really
I'm going to take us all out of the chat, and we're just going to go straight to Nevada.
Yeah.
Screenshot.
and we'll
it's a really lovely picture, actually, and unfortunately, it's starting to fade because the sunlight hits it. It's actually a really beautiful picture.
Oh, and where's Snack?
Oh, Snack. Well, I got home. I actually was logging on to this as I was walking up the stairs to my apartment. So, so you're lucky I've actually made it on time. So
you only made it on time because we started late for you.
Exactly. So I can go and get Snack. Well,
I thought we started late for Mr. Bear.
Yeah, we did actually.
All right. Well, I'm going to mute myself.
We obviously did that for Mira as well, but we knew that would be the case. It's always the case, unless you text her.
Sometimes.
Yeah, even sometimes when you text her, she still doesn't make it.
Yeah.
No
Hey,
shit.
it's not my fault that you premiere at fucking 2:00 in the morning.
That wasn't the one that I texted. The first time I texted you about a premiere wasn't that.
No, but I'm still blaming you for that.
So who are you again, Navadia?
Well, actually,
Sam?
shouldn't I be doing it? I'll go and get Snack and beer.
So we'll go clockwise. And
right.
Sam, who are you?
So
Where
I'm
can we
Sam.
find you?
I'm a newer YouTuber, so I'm on Vagrant Sam on YouTube and also Vagrant Sam on Twitter. I am much like yourself, Atheist Pastor, an ex-evangelical, and so looking at sort of the crazy tongues-speaking people. And I've got a friend with me too. It's not a snake though.
Oh, you got a kitty cat.
Oh look, she's got in a habit of like attacking the screen whenever I'm on the computer. So she's been sitting there attacking the chat, and she's finally starting to go to sleep. So if I get knocked out, then she hits on.
You can't blame the cat for what time.
But yeah, oh look at her. Anyway, I'm going to stop abusing her for people to like me. Oh yeah, and I'm drinking Suntory 18-year-old whiskey because I forgot I had it and I've got it. So.
Oh, okay. Now I'm jealous. There's nothing mixed in there, though. I'll take that as a no. We've got way too much in common.
No mixer. No, just us.
Yeah. No, we've got way too much in common, I think, Sam. It's ex-evangelicals. We've both got beards. We're both new to this, and we're both whiskey drinkers, although I am on the wine tonight. So I'm on the Pinot Noir.
Oh,
my hair's
I was at a winery last week.
I try and avoid wineries now. It always ends up messy. But I do love the.
Is Mr. Bear waiting in the?
Where's Mr. Bear? No, I can't see Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear, if you're there.
Yeah, he's got StreamYard up, so.
Okay, I can't see Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear, if you click the link, you should pop up in here.
You got to actually click the enter button too.
Put your name in, hit the enter.
Yeah, put your name in, hit the enter, and yeah.
Yeah. All right. So while we're working that one out in the background, so we've got this little-known YouTuber who's fairly new, doesn't have a lot of followers, Navadia.
Yeah. Hi.
Welcome.
Hello. Hello. Thank you for having me on. I'm so excited to be here for you. Thank you for everything, by the way. I appreciate it. Hey!
Now, incidentally, I'm just going to say something. I put up a post last night because I was at 46, I think, subscribers and wanted to get to the magic number of 50. Navadia does a retweet, then all of a sudden I'm up to 68. So I've had a 50% increase just from one retweet. So it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm with the most famous Australian YouTuber in the country.
Well, actually, NotJah has more subs than I do. So, yeah.
Yeah, and none of us are anywhere near the most famous YouTubers.
It's all Lucius's fault, though.
Snap.
Look at him. He shed today, but he pooed in his shed, so I couldn't keep it, which I was so annoyed about. I was like, dude, why'd you do that to me? But can you see how he's like super rainbowy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because of his brand new shed, and they're so soft once they've shed. They're like smooth as a baby's bottom. Ain't that right, Big Ears?
Yeah. And he won't be hungry. Hopefully.
Oh no, he's definitely hungry.
So you might get bit live on camera.
Hopefully not, but you know, It could happen.
Oh, that'll be confused.
Yes,
And it would be hilarious.
It would be hilarious.
So tell
we'll
everyone who you are and what you do for, I guess, even though everyone who's probably here already knows, but we'll keep it consistent.
Well, my name is Meredith. My channel's name is Navadia. I do stuff on YouTube. Mainly science and atheism stuff, but occasionally snack shit.
Snake shit. I thought he did the snake shit.
Yeah, well, he did the snake shit. So.
Quite literally, yeah.
Yeah, very much. But sometimes I do, and just some random stuff as well. So yeah.
And Mr. Bear, are you there, Mr. Bear?
Hello, señor oso. ¿Cómo estás?
No microphone?
No.
Hello,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Hey, there he is.
Hey
señor
there.
oso. ¿Cómo estás?
Es bueno.
Mm.
Oh, what are you
does
drinking,
Emma say?
Mara? You never told us what you're drinking.
Oh,
Mm.
Wakachangi.
Wakachangi. Oh, yeah.
That's the beer that I talked about last time.
Kiwi beer, of course.
Yeah, I can't get it.
So good. It is a delicious beer. It is quite a nice beer.
Yeah, I've never found a beer I like. So the last one I tried, I ended up going down the sink. So
Fair enough. Each to their own. But you're still not Australian.
Oh,
Says the person drinking a Kiwi beer.
it's all right. I'm half Pom anyway. So
Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to have to leave, Jen. Now, Mr. Bear, tell us, who is Mr. Bear? Where can everyone find you? And importantly, what are you drinking tonight?
Oh, okay. I'm going for Scotch.
hey.
Scotch.
I should have done it. I should have.
like that.
Oh, yes. Jen, I love you.
Yeah, I love me too.
Thanks for having me on. Look, I've got my own little corner of YouTube. I really pull the piss out of a lot of people. That's basically all I do. I just, I just make fun of them and destroy theism. Really, that's
That sounds
what
like
I
what
do.
I do. Just pull the piss out of people.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we do as Aussies, right?
Yeah.
I don't swear as much as I used to, though.
What?
I really
Fucking get
toned
on it,
swearing
Lauren.
down. I hardly call anyone an arsehole now. So
Oh, well,
What's wrong with you?
I can make up that for that.
I think I got to the point where I was just saying arsehole for the sake of people being able to count them.
We'll just mix it up. You got to use a
That's
different
right.
word. You
Hang on,
got
I've
to
got
keep
2
it
things to
creative.
drink.
Yeah.
So let's make it a drinking game. Every time Jen says asshole,
you gotta have a drink.
We'll be
I've only
absolutely
got 2
shit
bottles
faced
of
by the
wine,
end of it.
so
Yeah. I don't have enough
booze.
alcohol for that.
So I guess we'll let's get on to everyone's favourite Australian, Israel Folau.
Yay. Yes.
Ooh.
So I'll just give.
He seems to be the person that I seem to be attacking the most on my channel, by the way.
Yeah, so you better go first.
I know.
What's
I'll
he
let
done lately?
Chris go first because it's his channel.
Well, I was just going to say, I'll just do a very quick who is Israel Folau for all of those people who maybe aren't from Australia or tuning in at 6 in the morning in the US. So Israel Folau, he's a former
Wanker?
professional.
No, he's a current.
No, he's not a former
wanker.
wanker.
He's a
Yeah.
current
Current
wanker.
maker, sorry.
Jesus.
Well, actually, I think that's a sin. That might be on the list. So that could be hellbound. So he's a former professional footballer, and I'm happy to say former professional footballer for reasons you'll find soon. He started playing a game called Rugby League where he came to prominence, and then did a very controversial change to AFL. For those who were overseas,
That was the controversial part.
At the time, it was very controversial.
Yeah.
But funnily enough, back then he was also a Mormon. So
Not
that's
a
something
moron.
interesting.
Really? He started out as a moron?
He started out.
Oh, he still
Yes.
is a moron, isn't he? Yeah,
Jeez,
sorry.
Jesus.
He traded in the magical underwear, but he's still a dickhead. So, so he changed over to Aussie rules football, which is a completely different game. It's a bit like when Michael Jordan went from basketball to baseball, I guess, to give an American sort of flavour to it. It didn't work out for him, just like it didn't with Michael Jordan, and he ended up going to rugby union, which is different to rugby league. He played for the Waratahs, which is the New South Wales team, and then the Wallabies, which is the national team. Now, he's become a born-again Christian, and he put a post up where he essentially called out a lot of different people, as sinners who were going to hell. And I'll put that post up after, because we're going to have a bit of fun with that one. He was fired by Rugby Australia, and he decided that he would sue them. And being the poor multi-millionaire he is, he asked.
So sad.
I know. He lives in a multi-million-dollar place, I think, at Point Piper, which is one of the most expensive addresses in the country and probably in the world. So poor Israel. He managed to get sucker Christians to fund $2 million for his legal fighting fund, and he's currently suing the rugby union for $14 million. So
under the premise that he could have been captain. Which as they said, there was at least 14 other people before him that would have made captain before he could. So, that's a bit of a fucking stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what I'm going to do is I'm going to get I'm just going to quickly share the post that he put up. So I'll just give a bit of a trigger warning to everyone. If anyone's going to get upset by the post, I'm sorry, but for context, we're going to throw it up.
And you will actually upset me. You'll probably have me ranting for the next 15 minutes.
Oh, can we sit?
Fantastic.
Oh, I don't have any popcorn, Mary. That's not fair.
I'm sorry.
You got Johnny Walker to get you through it.
Yes.
I got chocolate. But chocolate and alcohol does not go well together.
Yes, it does. It goes amazingly well together. What are you talking about?
It comes up even worse.
That's tomorrow's problem.
Not necessarily.
So what I want to do is I want to do a little bit of a let's see who the biggest sinner here is. So I'm going to put up Izzy Folau's list of things that are going to send people to hell, and I'm not going to ask everyone for individuals, but just tally up, and I guess we'll see who's likely to go to hell first. So
I don't mind doing them all.
Yep.
So bear with me half a second. We'll get that up.
Can we take a drink for each one?
Oh, I'll be drunk.
I think that's pretty much expected.
Well, the first one is all of us.
Hey, skull.
Okay, so drunks. I'll drink to that.
Oh yeah, drunk.
Finish your drinks.
You can't see that Nacho's doing. Nacho, you're gonna say yes.
Like we can see what Nacho's. Well, if everyone screenshots that and opens it up in Paint, we can minimize it. And
hey, dude, where are you going?
Love
there
it,
Nacho.
Sorry about that.
I've got
it. Is there another one of 2 and 3?
Okay, what number are we up to?
What? Drugs.
We got number 1 out of the way.
Yep, drugs.
So, homosexuals?
I'm bi. Does that count?
I'm. Well, good point, Jen. Well, I have found some women to be extraordinarily attractive, so yeah.
Yeah. I'll count that.
Can I just say that New Year's Eve 1999 was a blur? So.
Oh yeah.
What a night.
See if you're drinking either.
Actually, no. I just remember I did kiss a guy.
I kissed a guy and I liked it.
It was. It was on a bottle party. So.
I feel like I'm dead set missing out here. Who would have thought the straight white guy was in the minority? I'll play people, don't worry. So adulterers. So anyone who has had sex outside of marriage.
Oh,
I don't think
yeah.
but
Go that every time.
Go.
The worst thing about getting married is no longer being able to adulter.
I thought an adulterer was the person that like had sex outside of a monogamous relationship.
See, now Christians are
Well, it's
really
not
liberal
longer
when it comes to
monogamous if you have
determining
sex
adultery.
outside of it, is it?
Yeah, well, that isn't adultery when you're cheating on someone.
Yeah.
That Christians
Well,
would chat to
I've technically
anything that's
cheated on
outside
somebody because I'm still technically married to my first husband.
Can
But
we
I've had
just say
several relationships
all of the
since,
above?
so does that count?
So liars. I forgot.
Lies,
Oh,
yeah.
we've all lied sometime. Come on.
I told
Yeah,
people
pretty
that
much
cheated
everybody's
too,
lied.
so
I haven't
I've
lied.
never-
Oh wait,
I've
hang
never-
on. Now
I've
go
never
for it.
lied.
But
Who got that
Never
joke?
lied.
Oh, damn it! I'm gonna have to skull the rest of it for the next one.
I don't have any more.
I'm halfway through my beer.
On that
now,
one,
at the end of this, everyone can go and get another drink.
well, technically,
that,
God
Matt?
should have a drink there because he's a liar.
Yeah.
Yep.
it's true.
No, it's true.
Well,
Well,
I think
people were
God
made
might
in
have
God's
to-
image, so God's obviously bi as well.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Non-binary. Intersex.
And non-binary, yeah.
And wouldn't that make him an idolater if he makes us in his own image?
Hey, yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, and technically he
And
you know,
technically,
he,
he's
Mary.
stealing souls back from the devil by a little cheat thing with his son. So he's a
no,
thief
he's
as
trying
well.
to.
Try.
Trying to, yeah. So he's a thief as well, and he's an
But all
atheist
that is
because he
within a
doesn't
lie,
believe in
'cause
any
he-
other gods.
Because, I mean, even if he existed, the devil might not, so that would be the lie. But he doesn't exist, so it's a lie within itself. It's like lie-inception.
Right.
How many
Oh,
layers deep
yeah.
does it go? It's turtles all the way down, isn't it?
It's a fucking huge onion, man. It's huge.
All right, so we've got to liars,
fornicators.
Oh crap!
Fornicators,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Ah, dear.
I'm nearly out of drink.
Yeah, I had to get a new one, so.
Yeah,
Thieves.
I have to refill.
Any- All
I
right.
haven't put my
Well,
finger down yet.
What were
So
you
bear in mind as
fingering?
well. Technically, with this, we need to be measuring all of this against thought crimes, not just if you've actually done it. If you thought about doing it, you might as well have done
yes.
it, particularly when it
Oh,
comes
well, I'll
to
go get another
Christianity.
beer then,
Oh,
shall I?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey,
So
this
drink
is something.
twice if you've done it and if you thought about it.
This is something I've always been confused about. Fornicators, married people fornicate, right?
Yes.
So what's the difference there? I don't get
Doesn't that include, like, the different positions that God doesn't like? He only likes missionaries.
Yeah, it's
I
very
see.
subjective.
In
Uh-huh.
But I'll almost
bodies,
guarantee whatever they put it as, I've broken it. So
A strict view of adultery would be if you are going outside of an existing relationship, whereas fornication is you don't have the same.
no, you mean fornication? Oh yeah, adultery. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Adultery,
that was
adultery
mine.
that can also
Yeah.
include going or being with someone who is in an existing relationship as well.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, pretty much all of it is wrong to them, so you may as well just
Yeah.
go, all right.
There's nothing I haven't drunk on
Oh,
yet.
that's
Yeah.
fine. Atheists? Any atheists here?
Oh, we missed thieves.
Oh, wait, we missed thieves, yeah.
Oh, thieves. Yeah, okay, I've stolen something before.
I stole
Yeah, I've
Chucky's
stolen
Goonies
something
agency when I
before.
was a kid.
Apparently, piracy is stealing anyway, so we're all screwed.
Yeah. And come on,
Hey,
who
I've got a
hasn't gone
Netflix
through
account.
Self-serve check it.
So do I. It doesn't matter if you still downloaded.
Like, who hasn't gone through the self-serve checkout at Woolies? Like, seriously.
I haven't done that. Well, I've
I
gone through it, but I
That's not a
haven't.
Fuji apple. That's a Red Delicious.
I haven't done that one.
You know,
Atheists. Do we have any atheists here?
I
Fuck.
Potentially.
don't.
I'm not sure. because
I
I'm
might
truly-
have doubted the existence of God once.
Maybe there's a lot of skeptics here. You know,
Doubted
you
the
don't know.
existence of God once for about 10 years.
That's
Still
probably
going.
about, Yeah, it's once, but it's been a continuous once.
Realistically, what we've all got to remember is we all know that God is real. We just choose not to follow him because we just secretly want to sin.
Well, according to this list.
Yeah. Well,
Apparently.
actually, there's nothing secret, is there? I mean, we're kind of openly going, yeah, here we're here and we're sinning.
Yep.
Exactly.
Because sinning.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll drink to atheist.
Yeah, let's drink to that, yeah.
Go.
Oh, we're drinking again. What are we drinking to now?
Yeah, I thought we already had drank to atheists.
Yeah, I thought we'd already drank to atheists, but that's okay. I'm happy to drink to atheists. I think we're worth it.
Now,
This one. Sorry, just
Cheers,
on the
atheists.
just on the atheists one. I like this because when you think about it, it's like saying those who don't believe in Atlantis are going to Atlantis.
Yes.
It's kind
Absolutely.
of yeah.
Real.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfectly logical, though. Don't you see?
course.
Like, if you'll just believe in Atlantis.
Yes, that's right. Yes, I choose to.
What if you're wrong and Atlantis is real? I mean, you might miss out on an eternity in Atlantis. So you should just believe.
But didn't Stargate?
Yeah, I mean, you don't lose anything by just believing.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
But didn't Stargate?
Look at the list. You missed out on heaps.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay,
no.
so
I had a nerd reference coming up there, so I'm just going to let you go with that one, Mara.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, didn't Stargate kind of show that Atlantis is real?
Yes.
Nerd.
Nerd.
There you go.
I'm still an SG1. Come on.
Evidence.
Yeah, Aquaman did it too.
Actually,
Exactly.
yeah, I'll go homosexual. Jason Momoa. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd go gay.
Oh yeah,
too.
Jason Momoa.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Why not? Okay. I'll drink for number 2 again.
Here we are.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to pour another drink. Bastard.
You said that 3 weeks ago.
I'm almost through, mate. Nacho. Yes.
Nice.
Oh,
I've only got enough to pour 3 glasses.
I was hoping I'd have a Jason Momoa, but I mean, this guy's like punky, so.
Oh, that's Jason Momoa sounds like a cocktail, doesn't it? Of course, if you had Jason Momoa, it would end up being a cocktail, so wouldn't it?
What about Jason Biggs? Does that work?
we're back to those apple pies.
Yeah.
Hey, don't they eat that at Thanksgiving? Like, come on, it's one of those dessert things. So.
Hey,
We're being festival here.
We could rephrase it to, we'll just tell your mum we ate Jason Momoa.
Your mum.
Well, he is a good baby to eat. Baby.
You don't eat him, you suck on it.
Oh,
It lasts all day.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, thank goodness I'm not even close to being monetized.
Okay.
Now listen, the last one's interesting. Idolaters. So idolater is anyone who really has idolized. Well, I guess there's 2 ways. You can either be looking at a false god, which for atheists is pretty hard to do, or idolizing something or worshipping something that isn't a god. So in the past, I definitely have pre-atheism. So I'll drink to that.
Yeah, I've definitely worshipped. I was a Christian before, so I've worshipped something in the past. So
Yeah, well,
I went from
includes
Christian
that,
to
then,
spiritualist, so I definitely worship something other than the Christian God. So yeah.
Ah.
You
That I
could
can
say
say I
I
didn't.
worship the scientific method. So
Yeah, but you
That
don't
religious
worship.
science.
You follow the scientific method. You don't worship it.
The thing is,
But you can idolatize people. Like, I mean, anyone that you hold up to a high esteem is the same as idolatizing. So
these fundamental messages,
There
they're
you
going to be
go.
counting anything that you make more important than God is idolatry. So if you were more worried about
Pretty
your
much.
career, money's your idol, or women are your idol, or gaming's your idol, anything that you prioritize over God, which
Okay,
drink
so
to that.
basically everything. Because
Yeah,
it's pretty
yeah.
low.
All right, I'm gonna drink again then.
This is as
Like a
much
forced
about
conclusion.
Yeah, it's guilting believers as much as it is reaching out to these people.
You wouldn't want to do this all the time. You'd end up an alcoholic.
Yes. This is what SciShow used to be so good for, because this is the sort of thing you drink to so much shit that you'd all be fucking shit-faced by the end of it.
All right, are we going to talk about the other bit? It's like in the Galatians.
Wait, there's
19
more?
to 21 of the King James Version of the Bible, which is hilarious because it's the King James Version and he's talking about homosexuals.
Well, what I actually like about the if you actually read it, and he's so this is what I love with Christians. They like to pick and choose little bits and pieces to, I guess, suit their the narrative they want to have. Now, the verses that he's actually quoted, he's completely misquoting and misrepresenting what it actually says, because there's more stuff in there, and there's one in particular in the King James that's actually in his little post on the side there, and it's variance. Now, what variance is, to quote exactly from the dictionary, is an alteration of something formerly laid in a writ, which means breaching your contract.
Yeah.
Do we know anyone who breached their contract?
I don't know. I can't think of anyone. What about you, Nacho? Do you think you can think of somebody who breached a contract?
No fucking clue. Just I have no idea whatsoever. No clue.
Ken Hovind did. That's why he ended up in prison.
That was a conspiracy. So I thought that was something that was really interesting. And I guess,
by the way, if you're wondering why I keep looking to the side, Lucius has climbed under my computer and is just curled up in there. I just have to keep checking if he's okay. And it's actually really
it's
cute.
Nice and warm.
Did we all fail on every single one?
Yes.
I did.
No, we didn't fail. We passed, motherfucker.
We passed, yeah.
No.
We all ended up with full bingo cards.
The whole purpose of that was I just wanted to make sure that I was going to spend eternity with you kind of people rather than Israel Folau. Because if it was Israel, I would have to try a lot harder.
Okay,
well, you see my video where I actually think that God is the devil and the devil is probably God.
Yeah, I think that too.
If there was, they are definitely the other way around because God's the arsehole in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lucifer actually means light bringer in Hebrew.
Yeah.
So he was the one who brought the light.
Yeah.
And if you go back to Genesis, the original in the beginning God created, the word for God is Elohim, which directly translates to those who came from the stars, as opposed to Elohah, which is he who came from the stars. So there's more than one at play in the Bible.
Oh, yeah, well, definitely. The early Hebrews actually believed in more than one God. They just decided to focus on Yahweh. That's all.
That was a bad move.
Yeah, bad move because Yahweh's an arsehole.
He's a bit of a dick.
By the way, I just want to point out, Critical Cripple says 30 minutes in, we still don't know what the stream is about, and none of the hosts can form a sentence anymore. Well, the stream's about Israel Folau.
And Aussie's complaining that he's left out.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
We can't get you in, Aussie. We can only have 6 people in the stream.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
Well, I think we can. You actually paid for Streamlabs, didn't you, Chris?
You know what? I'm happy to try. I will send you the link, Osman. I don't know.
I can send it to him. That's okay.
Yeah, send the link, and if you want to come in, come in.
So one of the
I haven't actually met Osman yet, so it'll be a meeting.
One of the things I really like about this whole thing, like that list, is that I can almost guarantee you Israel Folau has done pretty much all of those things, except for, well, maybe he probably has done homosexual, just thought, oh, that guy's a hot guy. I mean, come on, he's surrounded by men that are naked all the time, you know.
Dude, yeah, like they're free players.
I had a question about that. You said he was a Mormon before. Do you reckon he got given shit for his fancy magic underwear when he was changing?
Moron. Sorry.
I mean, because I can't imagine the other players of Aussie rules really didn't give him shit for his magical underwear.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
think that was one of those Mormons.
Wait, aren't they like?
Aren't Mormons required to wear their magical underwear all the time?
Yeah, no, they're the hardcore ones though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but he's pretty
underwear.
hardcore now, so he must have been a hardcore Mormon.
What is he
sure
now?
The garments go to their knee, so you would see it under his football shorts.
Oh, he's still an idiot, Maro.
Yeah, but what is he now? Like, I know he's still an idiot. Like, what is he fundamental or?
So he's
a Pentecostal, isn't he?
Fundamentalist.
He's different from
No, it's not Pentecostal.
His theology doesn't match Trinitarian theology. Yeah, he's a bit out of left field. I'm surprised that the fundamentals have.
I'm amazed he's not NFIB.
He's close on it, I think.
And
yeah,
I get that mixed up too. Those letters and NFI, NIF. I always
NIFB, NFIB. I think it's an NIFB.
NIFB.
Yeah, New Independent. Yeah, New Independent Fundamental
Baptist or you Fundamental Independent Baptist. I can never remember which one it is.
It's much of a muchness.
They are both fucktards.
Yeah,
both of them.
DITK.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what I guess I would like to do is give everyone an opportunity to, I guess, individually talk about how we feel about Izzy and get a few things off our chest. What I was going to do
is that what we're going to call him? We're going to call him Izzy. I like that. We'll call him Izzy.
Yeah, but then every time I think of Izzy Azalea.
Yeah.
Dizzy Izzy. It's a force of habit.
Do you actually know him, Chris? Have you met him?
No, but I used to follow. I followed him pretty closely. So I am still a huge Giants fan. I actually started following the Giants because I wanted to see how he went. I mean, I'm in New South Wales, and that doesn't completely dox me. So he played for Queensland, so I hated him for a long time. Then he went to AFL, and
dude, I'm originally from New South Wales. I now live in Queensland. So you imagine what it's like to live where I live during New South Wales, like state of origin time. So, yeah.
It'd be wonderful. We win.
Yeah, that's true. It's just when we don't, which seems to be a fairly frequent occasion.
Yeah. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
To be quite frank, I just exhaled really loudly with that laugh. But I go for New South Wales as well, actually.
Hey, this is awesome. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So I followed him as a sports person. So when I say I hadn't met, I have sort of briefly met him at meet and greets, or like at sort of fan days, things like that, where it's just sort of a very quick hello. But I've never had a conversation with the guy. So no, definitely don't know him.
Okay.
Don't want to know him either.
Is Aussie in the lobby?
No.
No. Oh, he said he was going to come in, so.
Not sure. So what I was going to do was see who got the highest count in the.
I think we were all exactly the same, aren't we?
So you know what? So I'm just going to go clockwise again, and Jen.
There was 8, wasn't there? I got 8. I got all of them.
So did I, bitch. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Woo!
Bring it.
I think I was 7. So.
Oh, you only got 7. You're a loser.
A very foggy 8.
A very foggy 8. Was that the alcohol, or just you weren't sure if you actually made 8?
No, I there was everything there at this party, and everything was there, and it was like Al Pacino in Scarface. It was just so anything and everything happened, and so a foggy 8.
Foggy 8.
Yeah.
We know NotJah made 8.
No complaints here.
No complaints. Okay, Sam.
We'll assume we're all high-scoring sinners. So, Jen, we'll let you go first. Tell us what you think about Israel Folau.
Oh, my first, am I?
What would you like to say to Israel if he were listening right now?
Oh, what would I like to say? Fuck off, go to America and leave us all alone. That's what I'd like to say to him. Just piss up. Go and apply to work at the Ark Encounter. You'd fit in right well there. You could even end up doing Answers News. I think you'd be great on their panel. You certainly wouldn't decrease the intelligence of the panel at all. And they'd be just as fucking bigoted. In all honesty, Izzy is a complete and absolute cunt. He is, every time he opens his mouth to talk about anything, he proves himself to be an even bigger cunt. And I don't think there's any way he could change it.
Easy if you're watching.
I don't know what's funnier, Jen's comments or Mero.
Good job.
I think we broke Mero. I mean, I should say Jen broke Mero.
I think Mero has to go next now.
No, because then we'll be waiting for 2 minutes for her to compose herself.
Go on, Nacho.
Nacho, what do you want to say to Izzy?
I'm probably I'll possibly be the odd one out. I'd probably more just asking questions. I mean, I'd probably start with what he was, what he enjoyed as a kid, what sort of things he did when he was younger, and try and work out why he went where he is.
At what point in your life, Izzy, did you turn into a complete and absolute prick?
It's kind of that, but without being expressly saying that. Because I got to be honest, I don't
didn't say
follow.
The C word. I just called him a prick. That's fine.
I don't really follow football, so I don't know too much about him in general. I just know he's a footballer, and then lately with all his crazy ideas. So, it's hard for me to come across in the way that Jen has when all I know is this, and I'm I just would want to know how he ended up in this position. I
particularly feel as bad about him as I do because of his attack on everybody in the LGBTQ plus community. As far as I'm concerned, he's an absolute prick, and he can just fuck off.
So I'd heard only a little bit about that, and that's completely understandable. You know what I mean? And you broke Nevada, yo.
Now, Ozman has come in, but it's telling me I am limited to 6. So what I'll do is we'll go around, and I'll jump out for a bit so Ozman can come in.
I don't think you can actually.
Yeah. I was gonna say if you're hosting it, I'm not sure that's a good idea.
One of us. Oh, okay. Aussie's still setting up. That's all right.
It's okay, guys. I can jump out in a minute. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep going around. So, Sam, what do you want to say to Israel Folau?
So my biggest issue with Israel Folau is his belief that he has a right to the platform that's granted by Rugby Australia. The fact that he feels that he had a complete legal right to be platformed by a business corporation like that. The idea of free speech is something that I support in terms of the government shouldn't limit or interfere with someone's ability to put a message out there, but no corporation, entity, or person should be obligated to allow your free speech on their platform. So in the same way that, if I was to start genuinely speaking in tongues and trying to preach a word to your audience, you've got the right to remove me from this conversation in the same way that Rugby Australia had the right to remove Israel from their platform because everyone that's operating in society wants to be inclusive, and that's what we're trying to work to as society. Why has Israel got this issue with his personal belief having to be married to his professional expressions? Explain yourself, mate. I work in a position where I can't come and bring all my atheist views and be explicit with them in terms of how it relates to my work because that would be a conflict of interest. So I don't. Simple. Why does he feel like he's got that right? And that's where
typical of all Christians, isn't it?
Well, this is the thing. Christians have a tendency towards believing that if they don't have the right to proselytize, their rights are being denied. But proselytization is impacting on my right to not have to be told that I'm an evil sinner going to hell. It's complicated because, like, you know, you've got the right to say what you want, but you don't have the right to someone else's platform to amplify your message. And that's,
my take
I think,
is my take on that is you have the right to start telling me what you believe, but if I tell you to fuck off, you should fuck off. Yeah.
And if someone tells you you can't say that message on using my bandwidth, they've also got the right to do that. And that's what's happened with Rugby Australia. Yeah. And that's what worries me about the Religious Freedom Act that is trying to make that obligation law. But that's another problem that we're going to have to deal with in the next few months.
And that's another stream we should do.
I was going to say that could be an interesting stream, actually. That could be an interesting one. Now, Mira, you're not going to have much to say, I know, because...
I'm going to say it.
We made Mira go last.
Go pee. Go get another beer.
Full screen Mira. Full screen Mira.
Yeah, full screen Mira.
Okay. The one thing that really gets me is your fucking hypocrisy. I can't fucking believe how fucking hypocritical you are. Here you are going on about about fucking I don't know. You going on about how you should go and worship fucking God, but oh my fucking God, you and your fucking money, you're a fucking millionaire. You're fucking ask the average fucking person for all the fucking money that you can get. I'm sorry for swearing, but you hypocritical cunt. Honestly, how much of a shit person can you be?
Don't hold back, Mary. Don't hold back.
Let it out.
Let it all out.
You can go, honestly, I don't give a fuck about how religious you are. Good on you. Go and worship God. He himself is another motherfucking cunt as well, but, that's fine. Sorry. But, look, it's fine. Say your shit. Don't fucking complain when people call you out on that shit. I expect people who know me to call me out on my shit, and I welcome it. You motherfucking cunt, is just why do you think you have the right to other people's money when you have significantly more money than everyone else? Come on, your portfolio, your actual property portfolio is worth $7 million. Why the fuck do you think you deserve 14 million more? You want to talk about idolaters? What about you and your fucking money? Also, that money that you were trying to take off Rugby Australia is actually taking away from people who actually need it. Come on, you're looking at women's representation in sports, disabilities, kids that are actually not just wondering, but kids that actually have no money. That $14 million is going to be taken away from those people to line your fucking pockets. Get over yourself, get your head out of your ass, grow the fuck up, and shut the fuck up. Thank you.
Question.
Beautiful.
Does anyone know what he's actually worth? I don't follow sport at all, so I've got no idea about this guy until
what's he worth? What's his net worth? Crap about that high.
Well,
what's his financial position?
The with AFL back in 2011, I think, was worth about $1 million a season, and he stuck with that for about 3 years. And he's probably would have been on similar money, I'd imagine, going to rugby union. Plus, then he had a lot of endorsement deals, not anymore, but he's estimating
ACL.
that $14 million is what he will lose over a few years. So that probably gives you an idea of what his earning capacity was.
I'd like to earn $14 million for 1 year.
One lifetime, that'll do me.
Yeah.
I think I'd be doing $1 million in 1 year. Just 1 million would be fucking nice.
But that's the thing. That's the thing that really gets me about him is he talks about how Christian he is and how wonderful he is for being Christian. And yet here he is being so hypocritical. The hypocrisy is the thing that gets me. I don't care that he's Christian. Go for it. Be Christian. don't be a cunt. Like, and also,
from my experience, Mary, often the two aren't mutually exclusive.
Yeah, I was thinking greedy and Christian are kind of like what I'm used to from my background.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I mean, not all Christians. My mum is the case in point, but
she's
a
gorgeous.
lot of them are. They are just absolute
Pentecostal Lexus driving pastors. Yeah. It's
I will grant if you're one of the churches that is more secular, like the Uniting Church in Australia, you are probably not a cunt. But if you're one of the more Pentecostal churches, the chances are you're a cunt.
Yeah, and it's also the Christian prosecution autofellatio. Like, it's sort of just like anything that could be slightly considered to be anti-Christian is, oh my God, holy fuck, my religious beliefs, blah, 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 blah. And yet, again, hypocrisy. All atheists, all homosexuals, fornicators, drunks, blah, 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 should all burn in hell. Is that not religious?
Banana Very appropriate.
Nice.
I thought so.
Yeah, it's something that cracks me up is that it's the whole. We want to have the right to discriminate, but you can't discriminate against us. I mean, you can't have it both ways. It's if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
Digital rights coming in. Do you want me to drop down for a bit so he can come up? That way you don't have to listen to me interrupt people.
Yeah, fuck off, Jen.
Hey, I'll bring Ozman in, but Mr. Bear, that's a hard act to follow, but go for it.
Absolutely. Look, I'd introduce him to all the people who have been dismissed from their jobs because of the things they've said and done, for starters, and then all have a group discussion about that and see why he feels he's different to everyone else. If it just comes down to the fact that he believes in what he believes in, then he'll be the odd one out, really. And again, that's exposing the hypocrisy. I'd also probably go along the lines of what Nacho was saying, is just go back, delve into his psyche and just see how he felt about, LGBTQ people in his youth. I mean, he supported the gay rugby, the Cup in the UK. So he was the poster boy for that back in 2014. So it's like, well, you were supporting them. You were on the cover of a magazine to support this, the gay rugby cup. So what happened? And yeah, it's a real curiosity. Ditto what Jen said and ditto what Mero said. I'm pretty mellow. I can't go into a rant. Sorry, anticlimactic.
That's all right. Now, a big hello to Ozman Cometh. We actually haven't met yet, Ozman, but
and also your mic's on mute as well, Osman. Your mic is on mute, dude.
Hey, dude.
Hey.
Osman
Cometh.
One thing I really wanted to point out with the whole thing, because I've done a couple of videos on him on my channel, which is, but one of the things that was pointed out is that he contravened the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which is basically to live free without persecution and discrimination, and also what else did he do? Another thing that it's not him that he doesn't do, but religious discrimination is actually built into law when it comes to things like you can get fired for being LGBT, like GRSM, or you can be fired for not having your religious beliefs line up with a Catholic or Christian group. Like if you work in a school, for example, that is a Catholic, like a Christian school or a religious school, and you realize that it's all bullshit and you decide to leave the religion, you can be fired for that. And that's how is that not religious persecution? And yet it's still enshrined. So I can't see how him being fired for being a cunt is any more or less rude or against the law than someone who wants to work in a Catholic school and is competent and is able to work in a religious organisation, but they get passed over because they themselves are not religious and like align themselves with that religion. Like that's
a funny one though, because it's. I mean, for me personally, if I just would not want to work for a religious organisation. And I guess I can see it a little bit from both sides. I guess if you're a religious organisation, even though I disagree with you, I guess I respect your right to believe what you believe, and I would understand that. I guess that there would need to be some kind of alignment of values, but and this is the big but, where there's actual government subsidies and funding, so things like, say, a Catholic school, they get a lot of money from the government. Now, all well and good, but if they want to receive that money, then they've got to abide by the standards that the rest of society does. And the same with the churches. I think if they want to receive the tax breaks that they're getting, then they need to abide by the same standards that any other employer in the country would.
I don't think churches should get tax breaks at all. I don't think they deserve tax-free things. I actually don't think there's only one thing that you should get tax exemption from in any business, and that's research and development, and that is it.
I agree.
So religion doesn't get it. If you are legitimately a charity, fine, I can go with tax exemption for that. But most churches are not charities, so they shouldn't have tax exemption.
Well, I think it should be like any other business. So, say in my business, if I were to donate or to do something for a charity, then that can be a tax write-off. So I think it should work the same way. But
if the church is deliberately putting stuff back into charitable works, then yes, that should be a tax write-off. But the church itself shouldn't be.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get into my little rant about Israel Folau, and this is one for me that it frustrates the hell out of me, because something I love, which is the GWS Giants. I never followed AFL before. I come from a rugby league state. Never really followed AFL. Flicked over because I wanted to see how Israel Folau was going, because it was the big controversy. He'd gone from rugby league to AFL, and I ended up falling in love with the team to the point where I became a member that year. I followed them since. You won't see it behind me, but right here, this is one of my prized possessions, is my signed Giants ball. Not signed by Izzy, otherwise I'd cross it out. But and then he's gone from there, and he's gone to the Waratahs, and I'm not a huge rugby union fan, but I'm a reasonable rugby union fan. So and I'm a Waratahs supporter, being in New South Wales, and I'll follow the Wallabies, and I was one of the people who was cheering for him. I genuinely wanted him to win. Now, when he came out, and I guess the first time, so before the post that he put up, he put some religious post up, and someone had baited him and said, what about homosexuals? And he commented, they'll go to hell unless they repent. And my initial thought to that was, okay, yeah, I completely disagree with him, but someone's clearly baited him for a story, and that one is what it is. When he put the post up that I guess we showed before, I got that in a way, because I've been there, and I wanted to think that he was coming at it from a genuine, concern that people were going to go to this hell that he believes in. So I guess I understood it. I think he should have brought it down. I definitely think that he breached his contract, and in breaching his contract, it's rugby had every right to fire him. I think free speech and platforming is something that I do believe in very strongly, and I will always fight for. But at the same time, I guess if say if Nacho decided that he suddenly wanted to become a Mormon preacher, I'm probably going to remove him from the stream. So it's a similar thing, and I'm assuming that's not going to happen. Now, what really
unlikely would be my thing.
Are you wearing natural underwear?
I mean, I might try on the underwear, but that's a whole nother kettle of worms.
How tight are your jeans right now? Are they tight enough?
Have you been sleeping with?
I mean, if it was actually magical underwear, I reckon we'd all wear it. But hey,
you guys are lucky I'm wearing underwear at the moment.
We can't see you anyway, so what difference does it make?
Underarm is pretty magical underarm.
Well, the tattoo cleaner's been going, so.
I'm pretty sure I have a gift, but I don't want to completely take away this channel.
You got your tidy whities on there, Nacho?
That's all right. He can build the channel again. He's on Twitter.
Hey. Oh, that's going in.
You ask, you give it.
That's in the bank.
He's got a better figure than you do, Mary.
Ooh, have you been stalking me?
Why isn't he wearing the NotJah?
I've seen pictures of you in leggings. Actually, everyone has seen pictures of you in leggings.
And they're damn good looking.
They do. You look awesome in them. You're hot as fuck.
So I guess to go back, and I guess the point I wanted to get to with Israel was I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt at first. Then when he decided to go and raise the money, now this is a guy who is a multi-millionaire. So the fact that he had people, and I've still got a lot of Christian friends, and I saw a lot of the posts on Facebook, and I know people who are at uni and struggling and really don't have anything to their name, and they're donating $5, $10 to this piece of shit, and that's what he is. He's a piece of shit.
He's a cunt.
Yeah, well, he is. He's that too. I'm going to call him on bullshit because I don't really think at this point he is truly a Christian. I think that he's found himself backed into a corner because of his views, and he's taking an extremist path that probably doesn't represent his views, but he's realised that the only way he can make a living now is to go to that extreme so he can continue to get funding. He's basically trying to push himself as the next big Christian preacher. It's only a matter of time before he's got his own TV show on, God TV or something like that. And it's only a matter of time. Oh no, Hillsong won't touch him. I'll give Hillsong credit there.
He will become our go-to person to attack in Australia.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's
for all of us.
Prior to the stream,
okay. Well, I got to call you there. If he's going to be that big of a go-to guy in that sort of way, he won't last long here. He'll end up in America.
Oh, I agree.
It won't even be that. It won't even be that we actually kick him out. It'll just be nobody will be actually interested in his level of bullshit, and he'll only find an audience in America. So he's
right.
Just like Ken.
We can't.
So be aware of that, all you Yankees in the chat.
We'll be sending you another one.
We got some crazy yokels here and stuff, but we ain't that level of fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
some of them are, but not enough. That's the problem. You need a big enough population to have that many crazies. And I think Aussie's ready to flip back in again.
All right. So what I'll do is I'll quickly drop you, Jen, and we'll try Aussie again. So.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that really kind of pissed me off as well is the fact that he was told not to do what he was doing. And yet he continued to, and then had the temerity to complain that he got.
What's up, Aussie?
Yeah, because he realised he could
monetize. Hello.
Absolutely realised he could monetize it. Hey, Osman, we haven't
Osman speaketh.
Nice to meet you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, dude.
Yeah. Hello.
What are you drinking? What are you drinking?
What are you drinking?
Who the fuck are you and what you drinking?
At the moment, I'm drinking cold.
Boo.
Oh.
All right, so we're going to have to drop Osman and get Jen back.
Okay, see you later.
Yeah, I reckon, right?
What type of vodka is in there though? Like, is it Absolute, Smirnoff, or what?
Nothing yet, but I'm gonna work up to 4x, and then I'm gonna go to Canadian Club.
4x.
No, that's something.
No, Canadian Club, yeah.
That's
What
my
are you going to
favorite.
have the Canadian Club with, though?
Speaking of which, I'm going to go and get another one.
Straight.
I'll bring me one.
Oh, okay.
Do around.
I like my spirits untainted. Unfortunately, not like Izzy. Izzy's gonna have to be like Rove McManus.
Wait, what? Yeah, I didn't get that. What did Rove do?
He went over to America to try and restart his career, and then he flopped.
Oh, in that regard. Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
in
fair
2
enough.
episodes.
Yeah. I was worried that you were like trying to tell me he went crazy Christian in some way. I was like, ugh. Because I like Rove. I mean,
No, that's Morrison.
Yeah,
Rove's
exactly.
gone Christian.
No. False alarm.
No, false alarm.
He went to America.
That's what
He
I was
was an
worried
attempted
about.
export.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got only it's amazing how few of the good things that do come from here actually make it in America. And when they do, they tend to just go boom really quick. Like,
I mean, come on,
they're
Americans
really popular,
can't stomach
really big.
Vegemite, so they're not going to get
they're all
real
pussies.
Aussie flavors.
Yeah, what's up with that? I mean, Vegemite's awesome.
Exactly. Thank you.
BuzzFeed video recently, I got really angry about it, but yeah. They put
I
half
mean,
a fucking jar
I
on
reckon
a
it's
piece of
not
bread
quite
and go,
as
"Oh, this shit doesn't taste good."
What?
Yeah.
Well,
really
you
no-
know, they had, like,
Fucking
a-
fuckers.
fuck
There's
the
really no
fucking-
excuse anymore. There's been 20 years of internet. They know better now.
Yeah. No, you put a
Thick
little
butter,
tiny bit of
A
Vegemite.
little bit of Vegemite.
Yep. And then shitloads of butter on slightly warm bread, so the butter's like all melted. Then a little bit of Vegemite. And then you can
You
stop
can do all
there, but then
sorts
you
of
can
good
have like
ways.
avocado on top with a little bit of cheese and then grill it. And then you put a little salt and pepper.
No, never mess with it.
See?
Butter,
Yeah, right.
eat that shit.
This fucking
got the
stuck-up bitch over here.
You know
Yeah,
I'm mixed up, dude.
You gotta put fucking millennial. You gotta put avocado fucking on everything, right?
I know.
You
How
don't have a
dare
house.
I be a product of my own culture? Actually,
And then what you do is once you finish putting it on, you then lick the knife to make sure you get all the Vegemite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually,
absolutely.
fun
And it's
fact-
good because it's got that nice mix between that and butter.
Oh yeah, it's that little bit of melted butter on the top. That way, it's kind of like.
It's
But actually,
delicious.
fun fact is if they're really, really like stuck and they need to make agar for growth plates for microbes, they use Vegemite because it's got all the vitamin Bs and everything in it.
It's so nutritious.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
it's really
awesome.
nutritious, and they actually, if they need to make,
Nutritious and practical.
yeah,
They put
so
the smile on every
they
cheek.
use Vegemite as like a small kind of like a poor man's version of agar plate. Agar plating. There we go. Fun fact for you.
On that note, Chris, thanks for having me. I have to pull out, so to speak. So Jen can come back in.
Do you? Hey, are you pulling out for Jen?
I'll pull out for Jen. Yeah. I've got the technique down, Pat. So
You're an
Nice.
expert, right?
Sensational.
thanks for
That's
having
what they
me on.
all say.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
On top.
Yeah,
On
Mr.
top. Yeah.
Yes, and
Catch you, bear.
see you later, mate. Have a good one.
Take care, guys.
See you
Good
soon.
night.
Bye.
See you, mate. All right, so we've lost a bear, but we've gained
You'll
a
like
bear.
when there's a
And
bear
I'm
on top.
And I'd just
on.
like to point out that, Bear, you don't have to pull out for me because I can't get preggy anyway.
Have you tried?
Oh,
many times.
Not very practical though.
Sometimes it's an advantage.
Bow chick bow wow.
This is what happens when you stream on a Friday night with a group of pissed Aussies. It's awesome.
I nearly spat booze all over myself.
Don't you love that pissed over here means really happy, but over there it's just grumpy motherfuckers. Like we are some lucky
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
they need to adopt some of our crap.
They really need to be more Aussie.
Yeah, screw you, Americans. Jay, you've got to be more Aussie.
Yeah.
You're already in our time zone. Get more Aussie.
Get more Aussie. Get some Aussie India.
Yeah.
Now that sounds wrong.
But oh, so right.
Glad you got it. Oh, so right.
Now, very quickly, and the conspiracy has said Vegemite is Nacho. I don't know what Vegemite is, but
Vegemite.
I never heard of Vegemite. Is that like
Vegemite is, and it is the nectar of the gods.
Yeah.
Fair
But
cop,
actually,
fair cop.
out of curiosity, is that Vegemite from the Minge?
Which reminds me, Maro, we have a care package we're supposed to be sending over for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to talk again and figure, because I can't remember everything we're supposed to be sending.
That is a good point. But Vegemite.
I've got to try and figure out back in our tweets what we're supposed to be sending and send it.
Yes,
So.
yes, we do.
But I have an address.
You have an address. That is good.
Telltale gave me an address, so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Send them a full kilogram of Vegemite.
Yeah, there was the Vegemite. There's a couple other things. We're not allowed to send chocolate because Rose is allergic to chocolate. So
there needs to be a video tutorial on how to do the bread and the Vegemite with the butter.
Yes.
I would
Like
love to
step.
send Telltale some Tim Tams, but
and
Rose is highly allergic to chocolate. So
Mero. We're so going to record that.
What?
The Vegemite tutorial.
Vegemite tutorial.
Yes, we have to do it. That's a great idea.
That sounds awesome.
Yes,
good,
idea.
Do it.
But you do the whole meal, so you've got the
yeah.
Milo as well next to it. So you do the toast for breakfast with your Milo.
So we're going to have a video with footage
yeah.
of not just hands.
No, you're not gonna get much of me.
It's probably just going to be me and my ass as I kind of bend over the
kitchen.
Yeah, not just
pretty much. I'll be there, but I'll be on her ass.
Yeah, it'd be like sort of like, oh, you can't see, but I'll be like sort of sticking my ass out while I spread the butter and like look.
Looking back all sexual.
Spreading in the same sentence. It's just not right, Barry. Not right.
Everyone's going to want to watch this Vegemite. Everyone's going to want to watch this Vegemite tutorial. I swear to God.
So Mary's going to bend over, spread her ass, and put Vegemite on her cheeks.
No, not that. No.
I think you lost a few bits there.
I only listened to half of what she said. I've had a lot to drink.
The point in making it taste
right, so now that we've planned that,
you guys are aware I'm a cheap drunk.
Yeah.
Hey, Jen, if you spill anything on your body, I'm claiming body shots.
Ooh.
Okay.
As in you're gonna lick it off me, are you?
Now here's a very full glass of whiskey.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I might actually tip it on myself.
Isn't that the point?
That's my second glass and it's nearly gone, guys. This is not good.
Osman, have you actually ranted yet about Folau?
I'm actually.
Yes.
I told you it was going to be bottle.
Unfortunately, I cannot rant about Folau because Mero, you stole all of my fucks.
Well, then you
and now he has no more fucks to give.
There's shit, there's bastard, there's arsehole, there's rag, there's dickhead, there's...
Yeah, come on. There's a whole heap of like...
She stole all 72 of my fucks.
Well, you can't.
Izzy is a cock gobbling, shit munching ass fuck.
But that was fuck. You said fuck then. So.
Oh, damn it. Damn it, I said fuck. Damn it.
Yeah, drink.
Drink. All right.
Fine, drink.
I don't have alcohol yet. I might be delivered. So.
Is that the new rule now? If one of us says fuck,
no, just
we
you.
have to drink.
Just you.
Just me.
It's all right if he gets to that. Take rid of the
I claim can't. I claim can't.
Okay. So if I say the F word, I have to drink. If Mary says the C word, she has to drink.
No,
what's
everyone
yours,
has to drink.
I don't know. What's my I think fuck is my most common one. So I don't know.
Well, maybe you better have fuck and I better have asshole.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's fair.
Well, when my beer gets delivered, Smeg will be mine.
I was going to say Smeg.
Smeg is a good one.
Smeg.
All right.
So Ozman, come on, man. What are you thinking? Let loose. Go for it.
Osman cometh and
Ozzy,
let loose.
If you say any of the words we're not allowed to say, you have to drink because yours is an alcoholic.
But I've got no
Yeah, you're
alcohol.
not because you're not.
Yeah, because you're not drinking
right.
alcohol.
So if you still swear, then geez, you got no excuse. We at least have the excuse to be drunk.
I'm preempting this, motherfuckers.
Oh.
Well, he started. That's fair. Okay.
Is building building a line of credit.
What? Ooh.
It's a tea bag.
All right, you've got about a minute's worth of fucks.
Yay. What can I say? Israel Folau is an embarrassment to the priesthood of Christianity and Catholicism. He is sorry, Jen, he is a cock-wombling smeghead that's drooling with absolute retardism from village idiotism. And I just made that word up. Village idiotism. He's the gene seed of all the village idiots in the world that have come together in one region to fuck and fuck and fuck for 11 generations, and then take a shit, and that's Israel Folau. He is a fucking wanker.
Not to speak badly of his ancestors, anyway.
Yeah, not to speak bad of his ancestors, but he is the result.
That's all metaphorical. That's all.
Yeah, it is.
It was all metaphorical. Yeah.
It is. It's metaphorical. I'm not actually calling anyone from a village.
And I just realized, like, given the context of everything, I was like, oh, we better cover that base just in case.
Yeah, no, I'm not insulting the Tongans or any islanders because.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
strictly
know
about him.
Right here.
Strictly about him.
Yeah, it's just about him. He's a fucking dickhead. He's just. I'm stealing Jen again. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But he needs to fuck off. And when he gets there, he needs to fuck off again. And then we can shoot him off into the sun. And when he gets there, we shoot the sun off 1,000,000 miles away.
So
we don't do that. That would be very bad for us.
So that's 3 drinks for all of us.
I mean, we've already mastered terraforming.
That's good. I'm going to finish this glass. 2 down. Unfortunately, I've only got enough for 1 more. So
I need to go get another drink.
Oh, no.
I was being lazy. I'm always lazy at getting drinks.
Exactly right.
My bottle's empty. It's not fair.
Hey, Snaky. Hi, Lucius. Hello. Move the camera.
This is what you drink.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what? Lucius
Unfortunately, it's now
on
empty.
my stream. I've made it.
Which means I
Yeah,
can buy more, please. Hey, I could bugger off. I could bugger off for 10, 15 minutes ago.
You've made
oh
it.
Shit! No, I can't. I can't drive anymore.
No, you're drunk. You're drunk as a skunk. You can't drive.
I'm not drunk. I'm just very tiddly. Which
Sorry,
is normal
dinner
after
table.
about
You got 2 different
glasses.
conversations going on at the same time.
I apologize for that. That's entirely my own fault.
No, a lot of the time that's actually really cool when that can happen and everyone can still follow what's going on. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's one of those things. Can I just see, like, that's, you all know Lavender Lady, yeah? The Lavender Lady from the USA.
Favorite. One of my
Diana
favorite
is amazing. And that's something she speaks about a lot too. She loves that moment, and you normally only get that around an actual dinner table. And it's amazing when those moments happen online and everyone's just so comfortable and they can just follow along and it's natural. That's a beautiful moment.
It is.
She'd love it. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I love us. We are an awesome group.
And by the way, I just got notice that one of my Islander friends is just tuned in at the most inopportune time. So I'm going to have to say this. Halamalu, I am very sorry. I did not mean to insult your heritage. That's exactly what I was hoping.
In what really you didn't though. You were just insulting wanker old Folau dude. Himself.
As the token Tongan heritage person here, you're fine.
Oh, you told me.
That way.
About a quarter.
Oh, nice.
See, flat nose.
Something I am going to do, and I'm actually going to bring you in for this one, Sam, because you've got a similar background to me. And what I'm actually going to look at is, yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I shouldn't interrupt the thought.
And I just want to say this is really cute. I'm just going to point out that's actually quite cute.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
He steals the go. That's the only problem with having him out is he steals it.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Continue on.
Have you figured out who his Twitter account is?
No, I don't actually want to because it kind of would ruin the magic.
And whoever's doing it is freaking awesome. I love it.
That's. I thought that was you.
No, we don't. We have no idea who it is. Mary thought it was me.
It's Lucius. He just gets on the phone while Maro's doing a YouTube video.
Yeah, but who types it for Lucius?
His tail.
He's got a tail.
His tail.
No, it's not me. It's definitely not me.
I think it would spoil it if you found out who did it.
Hey, Pastor, if you need to bring someone in, you can drop me.
No, he's trying to bring me into a conversation.
All good. So what I actually wanted to do is, because this is one of the reasons I want to call bullshit on what Israel's done. And that's because what he's actually done is the Bible verses that he's quoting, he's completely taken out of context. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do a massive trigger warning and apologize to everyone because I'm actually bringing up Bible verses. I'm sorry. But if we were to have a look at this, is it up? Everything's frozen. Okay, so Galatians 5, and Sam, I guess I'll bring you into this because I guess you're going to be familiar with it as well. So what he's quoted was he quoted 19 to 21. And what I want to point out at the end of 21, so after we go through all the nasty people, it doesn't actually say they're going to go to hell. What it says is that those who practice such things will not inherit the kingdom of God. So he's completely misrepresented what it says there. But then what it actually goes on to say afterwards is, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, all these wonderful things. Against such there is no law. And those who are in Christ have crucified the flesh and its passions and desires. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not become conceited, provoking one another and envying one another. So what I think has actually happened here is I think we're going to call that a little bit of a, not only a taking it out of context, but completely taking it out of context. And I guess, Sam, I'll get your thoughts on that one, because the way I read that is it's not those people are going to hell, it's they won't inherit the kingdom of God.
Can I ask what the difference is?
So there's a macro context here, and look, it's been a little while since I've been in the Christian scene itself, but from memory,
what kind of Christian you are too.
Yeah. So if you look back historically at like the letters of Paul, they're to specific churches at a specific time, and they're generally dealing with a specific issue. And from memory, the book of Galatians is dealing with them being arrogant assholes and feeling like they were better than the Corinthians or the Thessalonians or the other churches that were around them. And so this is actually a letter for Paul writing to the church saying, hey, chill out. You'll know yourself by how you act, and you need to be like this, not like that. And it's more about being a good person than specifically about a theological pathway to salvation. So the idea is that, people might brag, but if they do bad things, you'll know them by the fact that they do bad things, as opposed to prescriptive, this is what sends you to hell. That's my vague memory of it. And the fact is, like, Christians these days will come in and they'll take those, like Israel Folau's done on this post. He'll post a couple of sentences or verses, I guess they call them in the Bible, don't they? He'll take a couple of verses and he'll build a theological claim around that without actually looking at the entire biblical book in context, let alone the entire chapter and the surrounding verses and stuff.
But if you also go back to the original Hebrew, the Hebrews didn't actually believe there was a hell. So
yeah.
So that's a Christian adaptation that there is a hell and and
Well,
a Satan.
Colossians, that's New Testament, so that was written in Greek. So that's sort of they take a lot of the I guess the Greek Christianity and Judaism stole a lot from surrounding religions. So I
feel
believe
like I'm back at fucking J-Dub school. Oh my god.
Sorry.
Oh my god!
No, because this is the sort of shit you learn.
But
You don't
essentially,
learn. You kind of have.
Hell, it's Hades. Hell is Hades, which is that's the Greek underworld.
It's no different. Sheol. It can also be defined as just death. Just
can we go back to things that make us drink?
Fuck.
Arsehole.
Yeah, arsehole.
There you go. Oh boy. I didn't realize I had so many like hard spirits in the house.
I wish I had more.
I have an entire cupboard which I haven't touched in ages.
Until tonight.
Scotch, so
of hard alcohol. I have beer.
I was in a bottle shop the other day and I'm like, no, I don't need any scotch. I've got plenty. Yeah, no.
Junk Shop Library in the
Junk
chat.
Shop's right.
He's right.
Yep.
The kingdom of God was meant to be the immediate return.
And the
of Christ
J-Dub still
in that
believe
lifetime.
that sort of stuff. Yep.
Well, don't the J-Dubs believe that invisible Jesus came back in 1914?
Yes, and that's why we're already under that system.
That was the start of the empire or something.
So J-Dubs actually think they're in the 1,000 years already.
Not the 1,000 years, no. It's the sort of the beginning of the beginning, so to speak. And that's why they can still extend
It's the beginning of the end of the beginning. Hang on.
The 1,000 years is after Jesus kicks ass.
Yeah,
so
basically. Exactly.
The tribulation, which was 7 years, 3.5 years, and 3.5 years, and then 1,000 years of Jesus following after.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fuck, that would get old.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just
Seriously,
it's
I
want
to go to hell.
Bullshit, isn't it? And every time it doesn't happen the way it's supposed to, there's an excuse.
Yeah.
Because man got it wrong, Jen. It wasn't God's time, but man got it
wrong.
We didn't understand the signs properly.
So when they're doing these prophecies about when it's supposed to happen, man is getting it wrong. But the Bible is
only when it's clearly wrong, only then. But when they're actually just doing it, then they're right. They're 100% right. They know they're right.
See, this is the thing, because the Christianity I was brought up with was a church that I could walk into, and during a church meeting, I said that Mary's virgin birth is irrelevant to the Bible. And nobody wanted to boot me out of the church. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, I just said it was irrelevant. I said it didn't matter whether he was anointed as the Son of God or there was a virgin birth and he's actually physically the Son of God is irrelevant.
It is for fundamental Christianity. The reason it's relevant is because you inherit through the Father, and since he didn't have an earthly father, he didn't inherit original sin. That's why that's part of the doctrine, and it's so important to a lot of forms of Christianity.
Yeah,
because otherwise, it would have been born
I didn't think it mattered. And most people in the Uniting Church actually agreed with me that it didn't matter.
Uniting
and that
Church
is the difference. And that's part of the difference between not being fundamentalists and being more secular as a church.
I don't want to get this wrong, but I think the Uniting Church, they have feedback on the Religious Freedom Act that is actually against it. I'm pretty sure it was the Uniting Church.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
they would be.
So the Uniting Church.
The Uniting Church have gay ministers. So
they're chill.
They are really
I like
chill.
the Uniting
Church.
Church.
One of the things was because my mum, although she's in a home now and she isn't very high up in the church as she was, knows a lot of the people who is, and we were talking with her about. I've been talking with her about getting the Uniting Church on side with trying to do stuff about the NFIB within Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's one of the things that we've been looking at as being important as far as this stuff goes, because they're not happy about it either. So it's almost like that there's a whole church within Australia that, I mean, they're not happy that we're atheists, but they could agree with us on certain issues and fight beside us for them.
See, my contention with moderate Christianity or like palatable Christianity is they provide cover for the more fundamental ones. Like they help to make it seem more rational for people to believe in the first place.
Yeah, and I have a
that's
problem
what I
with
struggle
that
with.
too. In that the moderates become a gateway to more fundamentalism, and I've seen that in friends I've had who ended up becoming more fundamentalist, starting out in something like the Uniting Church and went on to being more fundamentalist. So yeah, I agree with you, Sam. I see it as a gateway, but I'm also not ready to condemn people who are. Yeah, it's a gateway drug. I'm not ready to condemn people who are prepared to be just being religious shouldn't be a reason for us to condemn people. I'd rather condemn people on their actions and their beliefs rather than on them just being a Christian.
And that's something that's actually really important. And I think, look, I guess most of us have been there where we've been religious, and I think it's who was it? I think it was Apologia, actually in a video today said that when he became an atheist, he didn't suddenly become smarter or, his intelligence didn't go up. And religion isn't a mental illness. It's something that I guess when people who are in religion, I guess anyone who's watching who is in religion, I just want you to know we don't hate you. We don't agree with what you believe, and we'll certainly fight against, I guess, certainly the bad parts of that. But I think it's important to come out and say that we don't hate religious people.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm just kidding.
Have we lost? How long have we lost Aussie for?
He'll be coming. No, he'll be.
He's coming back. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't paying attention to his chat, so.
So going back to what you were saying about inheriting the kingdom of God kind of thing, you were talking about. It's critical.
Yeah. So basically, it's the verse that Israel's used isn't that the people who are in that are going to go to hell. So Colossians, as Sam was saying, was written to, it was a church that was seen as, they were a bit arrogant. They were sort of doing their own thing and weren't necessarily going with the Christian flow. Maybe they were the uniting church of, I guess, the first century. I don't know. And Paul's written the letter to basically say it's a bit of a, hey, pull your head in, because otherwise you won't inherit the kingdom of God. You won't go to heaven. You won't be, you won't rule in heaven with Jesus. So that's really what that verse is about, rather than if you do these things, you are going to burn in a literal hell. I think from a theological point of view, the literal hell comes into play later, especially in Revelations, and a little bit in Hebrews as well. Yeah, but it's not the verses in Colossians. It's certainly not about those people will go to hell. And then what it says afterwards is, right, this Galatians. Is the thing. Galatians. Sorry.
I'll let the first one go, but I thought I'd correct you on the second one.
So this is
why are we going to be Christian-like sticklers for which actual passage you're talking about?
Well, no. You want the atheist to pull you up before the Christian pulls you up.
That's exactly it. That's so right.
Had to split the atheist and you have a scripture here. So sorry, it is.
Osman won't be coming back in, by the way. He's got sound issues.
Oh, is he still not working?
Yeah. Anyway, continue on. Sorry, keep going.
I wouldn't mind bringing Jay in, because I'd love to hear Jay's thing as a secular Buddhist.
But is he Aussie? Are you allowed to bring
but he lives in our time zone, so he's an honorary Aussie.
Honorary Aussie. Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it Australasia? We'll extend it to Australasia then.
He's American, but he works night shifts, so he's always awake.
Okay. That time zone. Yep.
Yeah, that works.
Send the link. So what the verse is actually talking about is it's basically saying you're all arrogant, you're all doing these things that are against what we believe. This is what you should be doing, which then goes into the kindness, the love, the joy, and all the other niceties. So what Israel Folau has actually done is he's taken a bit of a verse, and he hasn't even actually quoted the verse, and he's pushed it for his own agenda, which is look, really all he's done is share a meme that I've seen. I saw that meme going around 10 years ago. So it's not a new thing.
Yeah, but I mean that's all they do, isn't it? I mean, my experience of going to Pentecostal churches, and I've been to a few, is that you grab a handful of verses, you go over them and over them again over a few hours, and say virtually nothing.
Yep.
Yeah. 100%.
Whereas
basically
my experience growing up in the Uniting Church was you'd have a 40-minute sermon that actually went over all the details of the passages that were part of that actually went into detail.
So I don't want to say this to sort of say one form of education is better than the other, but a pastor of a Pentecostal church, when I was active in the church, on average they'd have a certificate 4 in Christian studies, which is 1 year basically reading the Bible through once. I mean, that's a bit facetious, but very light study. It was completely competency based, so it was pass or fail. And then they are going and believing that they're doing a ministry where they're responsible for people's mental and spiritual health. Where any other occupation that has that type of responsibility, it's 4 years, 8 years of like high intense study to be able to look after people at that rate. But
now my
Pentecostal
experience of people
that.
In most of the more secular churches is they need about 3 years.
Bachelor of Theology is common in more, I don't know what the word is, but things like Anglican churches and Uniting churches.
Yeah, the Uniting Church needs a Bachelor of Theology. So that's about 3 to 4 years, isn't it?
I had a different experience within the. I was studying to be a Pentecostal pastor, and I was doing a Bachelor of Theology and Ministry, and that was pretty much the minimum. Even with Hillsong now, I think Hillsong College is actually a degree, so it's a recognised degree in theology.
Yeah. So I was doing a Bachelor of Theology from the Pentecostal Church, and I was the exception to the pastors I was aware of. And it was also the exception the Bible college actually went to is now at Hillsong. And yeah, people were a little bit funny about it. And I mean, it turned me into an atheist. So, I mean, they were right, to be fair.
That's probably why they were funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Bible college did the same to me.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the preachers that we had in the Uniting Church, actually, when I first transitioned, actually phoned me up on the phone personally to say, you don't have to worry about all those verses in the Bible. They actually don't mean what people say they mean.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's how progressive the Uniting Church was. But I've got a point about that, though. The number of times I've heard religious people say that trans people are a new phenomenon. If trans people are a new phenomenon, why are trans people mentioned in the Bible?
Oh, are they?
Well, the concept of people cross-dressing and it being in the role of the opposite gender is mentioned.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
that's the point.
So you've got a book that's written a couple of thousand years ago actually deliberately mentions trans people.
Yeah.
But no, it's a new phenomenon. No, fuck off. So yeah, it's yeah, and it highlights that whole thing of the deeply religious just ignoring what's in their own book.
Yeah, but the Bible can be interpreted in that many different ways. I mean, I remember when I was actually very much within the church, I ended up meeting up with a guy he was a gay pastor at a gay church, and he gave me all this stuff. I guess their interpretation of it, that King David was gay. The Bible said it was okay to be gay. A lot of different things, which the Bible it absolutely doesn't say that.
No.
In any way you interpret it, I mean, it's pretty clear. I mean,
yeah. I mean, if you're going to deny
the way they want to,
if you're going to deny the anti-gay and anti-trans stuff in the Bible, you can only do that by applying our weird interpretations to the Old Testament, or saying that despite Jesus saying otherwise, that the New Testament overrides the Old Testament. But even that doesn't work because the New Testament criticizes gays anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And you have to sort of blind yourself.
I mean, Paul is a fucking asshole as far as I'm concerned.
Asshole.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Are you drinking, NotJah?
I certainly am.
Yeah, every time that one of us, that Jen says asshole or I say.
Well, when we were calling it, I'd not been paying enough attention to call it.
Oh, Jay, I sent you a link in Twitter if you want to hop in.
No, I thought I had to say fuck.
Oh,
yeah, you have to say fuck. I have to say asshole, damn it. And
no, god damn it.
Has to say
I say cunt, don't I?
Yeah, that's the word.
Ease up.
Fucking hell.
I'm drinking.
What am I going to do when I run out of booze?
Please slow down, people.
I'm going to get a beer because I can't keep up with you guys in the wine. So
I just started a new one and I'm like halfway through. You're almost killing me.
I am trying not to swear too much because that's
all now I'm trying not to swear. Bloody hell.
It wasn't much in the bottle. It's not like I
got away with that one, you motherfuckers.
Okay, do I have to say fuck, like, drink twice? You cunt.
This is as bad as playing Kings. Jesus.
All I'm going to say is I've got the Kosciuszko Pale Ale.
Pastor, you missed like 5 drinks there.
Yeah, you're half that bottle behind, mate.
Yeah.
We do not condone binge drinking, just for the record.
Yeah.
We're not binge drinking.
No.
We've taken, what, nearly 2 hours?
We're not binge drinking, we're Aussies.
Hey, it's just...
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, well, is it the only country that can keep up with us is Scotland? Or the Irish?
Maybe Germany. Maybe
Germany, yes, the Germans.
Nah.
They're pretty good.
Some of them.
You don't need to know about him, Jay. We just wanted your opinion on a few things as a secular Buddhist because it's interesting.
Yeah.
He's an entirely different.
Oh, we dragging Jay in, are we?
Yeah,
you got to come in, bro. Come on, get in.
Come in.
Come on. Apparently, Jen has called you out, so.
Go, Jay. Come on, Jay. You can do it.
Come on, buddy. Here we go. Come on, boy. Come on.
Come play with the Aussies.
Oh, you actually. Oh, shit.
I'm sorry, I don't know, Jay. I shouldn't have done that.
Jay's
He's awesome.
Yeah, we love him.
He should be like an honorary Aussie.
He is an honorary Aussie. Where the fuck have you been?
I didn't know that. Nobody told me. Hey, give him a second. I like the sounds of that.
There we are.
So, and the conspiracy is Jay. All right, cool.
Do you like
you got to bring booze, Jay.
Yeah.
Do you like my new necklace, everyone?
Oh,
the snaky. As long as he doesn't squeeze.
He'll be fine. Don't worry. If I jump up and run away.
For that.
If Mary starts choking,
everyone
somebody's going to have to phone an ambulance.
No, I'll be good. I'll be good.
No,
he's not exactly a python, is he? So.
Well, he's
so is anyone here actually a rugby fan, or?
No.
No.
Not really.
Not a football fan at all. Although I have played soccer.
Does anyone think he would have captained Australia?
No.
No.
I wouldn't have a clue, but probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't think he would have been. Based on his charisma, no.
I mean, but to be honest, like lately with our sports, it's like normal. For me, when I was growing up, our sports were we were like legends. Footy, we were legends. Cricket, we were legends. Like golf, even we were legends. You name it, we were legends. And then all of a sudden, bit by bit, everything fell apart. So right now,
Kiwis,
I'm like, I really don't know. You know?
I don't watch sport anyway. Occasionally, I watch a game of netball. I'd much rather play than watch.
I like netball.
Video games.
Yeah.
I used to be in a lesbian soccer team. That was fun. Yeah.
I liked a bit of soccer back in the day. Like,
I was a lesbian. I've always been bi, but they wanted somebody else. So.
Yeah, 20 years ago, I played a bit of soccer.
I used to do Taekwondo. I ended up getting my black belt.
You bitch, because I didn't get that far. I got one grade off before I stopped. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I was not allowed to do such things.
JW couldn't do Taekwondo.
Yeah, no.
You couldn't do Chumbi stance?
You
Channeling
know
it.
why I
for
did
two
Taekwondo,
reasons.
Mary?
There were all the religious bullshit and
Ta-
all the
Taekwondo was my
cultural
brother's
bullshit
attempt to
and the
man me
fighting.
up.
Jay,
Failed.
sup?
Hey,
Yeah, failed, but I loved it. So,
G'day, Jay.
Jay,
down, dude.
hey, my
Fuck.
lovely, how are you?
Can't. Wait, what?
Fuck.
Can't.
I'm
Come on,
Asshole.
motherfuckers.
I'm ending.
Where's Jay? We can't hear him.
Jay,
I mean, we can hear him
Jay.
typing, but we can't
Hey,
hear
hang
him.
on.
Hey,
I'm
dude.
trying to fix something here.
We're impatient, motherfucker.
There we go. I was trying to figure out why I was getting so much background noise. I'm like, what the hell? I forgot to mute the stream.
Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it. Yeah.
That'll do it. What the hell are you eating, Maro?
Wait.
You're always
So
eating
first,
something in the stream.
we need to do this.
Oh, yeah.
I
It's
want
apparently
chocolate
been a
now.
tradition. Who the
Yeah.
fuck are you? And what are you drinking, Jay?
Well, that
Taxi.
wasn't me.
Taxi.
Taxi.
I'm Jay from In the Conspiracy, secular Buddhist, and right now I'm drinking Kerrygold's Irish Cream.
Oh, that's
And clearly not an Aussie.
No, not an Aussie.
But it's
We
an
got the
honorary
Honorary
Aussie.
one.
You're
Exactly.
an honorary Aussie. Except you need to learn to like Vegemite.
Oh, hell no. I don't like Benjamin either.
Yeah, fuck Vegemite.
Oh, Vegemite's bad.
Oh, shit.
You like Vaginamite.
What? That's a different type of yeasty substance. Well, I broke the hose. I win. I think I win.
Oh, well done, Nacho. Well done.
Right.
I did.
Oh, okay, yeah, you got me. You got me. I should breathe.
Are you okay? Do we need like something to stick you back together, mate?
Okay, no, we're good. So,
This
Jay, even
is
though
the
you have no
stream.
idea
We've
who
broken
Israel
two
Folau is,
people.
I know who Folau is, but I don't know much about him.
He's
what
a
would you like
cunt.
to say to him?
Yeah. Now you got to drink,
We've learned
Mary.
We've
I
learned
know,
that.
but I have no drink left. Give me a bit.
Go get another drink.
I'm just going to
Well,
clean up.
What we might do, Jay, is
Did it break?
spend a couple of minutes.
No, it didn't
I
break.
guess what you've learned about Folau tonight and what you would like to say to him. I'll be back in a minute because I'll be back in a minute.
I will be too.
How much
I've
you
been
had to
broken.
drink?
I love it. I'm proud. So yeah, Jay,
Yeah.
what would you say about our Folau?
From what I've heard about him, he's a douchebag. He's out there. He
Don't
just
be
he
polite.
tries to
I was going to
manipulate
say modestly
everything.
spoken.
Yeah, he tries to manipulate everything to make him look good when in actuality just making himself look worse.
Yeah.
Do you think he's aware of the fact that, obviously he'd be aware of it because he's got all the attention and stuff, media. But do you think he's actually taking it in any way?
No.
That he's being made to look like a fool?
Yeah, I haven't. From what I've seen, he just keeps digging his hole deeper and deeper. So either he really doesn't know what he's doing, or he 100% knows what he's doing. He's trying to play off the PR.
Do you reckon
From
we
it.
should all dob in and buy him a butt plug and send it to him so he can, with a note saying you can dig your hole deeper with this?
That'd be awesome.
I do have a serious question actually for you, Jay, in regards to Folau. Given all of this, and I don't know if you were here before. You were here before when I was saying he was going to bugger off to America at some point. Did you hear that bit, man?
Yeah, and I said no. Because you already gave us ham.
Oh, so you wouldn't take him? I get you.
Yeah.
No, well
But,
played.
I mean, we
I'll
gave you
grant that.
ham. Now we're going to give you a bit of Folau. You know, it's a bit of an extra cultural.
No, you can keep Folau.
Wait, is Folau
You can
kosher?
have him. You can have him.
Depends how you kill him.
Oh god.
Jesus, now it is gone.
I think you're thinking of halal, not kosher with that
one.
That's a Python joke. Haven't you heard that one before?
You're right, dude.
Just said, actually.
Hey, Papa. He's a cute fluffy.
Look at what's the name of your puppy?
This is Splash.
Flash.
That's Splash.
Splash.
So Splash.
Flash Gordon.
What is
Flash
he?
Gordon.
He's a cavoodle.
Oh, he's a Oh. I will have to at some point. I don't know if I will let me.
You're so cute.
But grab her puppy and bring it to the screen. He's adorable.
Look. Hello.
Oh, Patty.
Who's a good papa? Who's your good papa? And you're on headphones, so you can't even hear.
That's been the last episode, hasn't we? Got a cat, a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely fluffy.
It's so
we had a kitty cat earlier. Like,
who's got a bub?
As well.
Where's Demi when we need her?
Yeah, I know, right?
I so miss Demi from being on Twitter. I really do.
Oh, Demi's the bomb.
Demi's awesome.
Pretty sure she's still around. She's just not as vocal.
She gave up.
From what I see. Yeah.
If she could know when to stop, she wouldn't have got banned so many times from Twitter.
No, but like, dude, sometimes you gotta give it your all.
I agree with you, NotJah. It's just that there's a few times when she probably should have come back a little bit. But I miss her. She's so much fun. So, yeah.
At least a year ago, it was a relatively open secret that I had a massive crush on Demi. So I'm a huge fan. That was even from before. This is before I even knew her personally, and now I'm like gaming with her and shit. So it's a good life.
Gosh, Demi is amazing. We so should have had Sarah on here. I'm sure she would have had some choice words to say about.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah, Sarah and I are going to Skepticon next week. So
we want footage.
Oh
Please have footage. And I'm hoping that next year I can come. That'd be nice.
What was that, NotJah?
Mero, do you have organised a camera?
No, I have not organised a camera.
I was thinking of something. I'll talk to you later. Remind me.
Cool, because we want footage, please.
I will try and get footage for you. Because Holy Kool-Aid's going to be there.
Camera, doesn't she?
I'm assuming she does, but...
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
I assume you two are going to hang out a bit, so...
Yeah, no, like, she's hanging out with me, like, she's helping, she's staying with me in the hotel in the city.
Cool.
So, yeah, it's going to be good fun.
Oh, you guys are going to have so much fun. Yeah, no, next year, if it's on again next year, I'm going to see if I can put money together to come over.
Sorry, am I loud?
To be honest, I couldn't tell how loud you are over NotJah, so.
God damn it. I'm nearly out of booze. That's it. That's not good enough. How much longer is the stream going for?
Well, probably should have.
Oh, well. You know, we probably got loads of Folau still yet to devour.
Yeah.
And Jay's only just joined, so he needs to catch up with the booze.
Oh, exactly. I don't think we can do that to a guest, Joe.
Fuck. Motherfuck.
I lost the host again.
Come on, you assholes, drink up.
Snoochie boochie,
bitches. So it's like every time, I don't know, how many, like, that was 5, I don't know, 10? I don't know. That's about a beer.
Yeah, that's got to be a whole beer for you.
Yeah.
Go.
Dude, these aren't my beers, motherfucker.
They're not your beers? What?
Not
I'm
tonight.
going to meet people tomorrow, and I'm going to have a sore head, and people are going to say, "Oh, gee, good night. What did you get up to last night?" And go, YouTube.
What was it?
Yeah, YouTubing all night.
YouTubing. Yeah. So sore head. What? YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
Well,
Man, it was a wild party on YouTube.
Well, technically, at some point in time, I actually have to record some stuff. At some point in time, I have to record some stuff, but I might wait until I'm sober again.
Well, I actually have to work at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and it's 11 o'clock right now, and I have yet to do my Duolingo, and I've got one of the longest streaks on the site. So
I'm going to be streaming with Godless Cranium at that time tomorrow.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like fun, NotJah.
I'm going to go for a few minutes.
He's on Leah.
Oh, you're going to bugger off in a couple of minutes.
She's muted and everything. She's like, yep, I don't want to talk to you guys.
Because I've got to do my Duolingo, because it's like I've got like a 5-year streak.
Yeah.
So I've done Duolingo every day for the past 5 years.
Minutes.
Yeah, it's only going to
fair enough.
We just get to look at her ugly face.
That is
Remember,
so
I can
nasty.
still hear you.
I know. I fucking know.
That was the point.
Cunt.
You drink. Come here, asshole, drink.
So a lesson to everyone out there, this is what happens when you live stream with Aussies on a Friday night.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, it's not his first round.
Especially now with these three.
Yeah, Jay's used to us.
Dude, you guys have obviously never been on one of Don's shows. Like,
correct.
We would do 8 hours and then just restart a new show. Like, drinking the whole time. You guys don't, like, I was the only Aussie. You have no idea. Where were you guys last year, motherfuckers? All of you, except Jay. Because Jay's not Aussie.
I would like to point out that I made my first YouTube video 8 years ago.
Oh, when was mine?
So where were you last year, Jen? Jeez.
I made a YouTube video. I made a YouTube video. I put it up. It was about fucking those stupid signs on the back of cars about baby on board, because I really think they're a fucking load of wank.
Yes.
And I made it. I got absolutely 0 followers, and I don't think anybody, but apart from people I knew, actually ever saw it. And I just didn't bother making any more.
9 years ago, my first video.
That wasn't on the Bunny PD account. That's on my other YouTube account. And I actually ended up hiding the file when I made this because, I'm not overly proud of that video.
Oh, you should redo it.
I am tempted to redo it.
You should redo it. You should. I know. You should.
I should take the piss out of myself. I should download it off and actually take the piss out of myself.
I still have all my old channels and stuff.
So I probably have the oldest video of any of us on YouTube.
9 years.
Not sure.
Can you beat 9 years?
Yeah, it's going to say Vagrant Sam had 9 years.
Oh, it's 9 years.
That's almost.
Okay. Yeah, you beat me, Sam.
What is it?
I've got a
YouTube
video
only like 12 or so?
Something like that.
Crap, I just ran out of booze.
And I've got a video that got 4,000 views. Just out of nowhere.
That's
and
well done.
That channel has 28 subscribers though, so yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't intending on doing this shit when I came back to YouTube. My plan that I had at the start of the year was to do videos on electronics and classic computer systems like the Commodore 64 and the Sinclair Spectrum and everything like that. And then the whole crap with rationality rules happened, and I go, screw it, I'm going to have to get involved.
No, the last couple of years,
and that's the whole reason I ended up in the atheist community, was because of that. So I'm so glad that happened, though, because you guys are fucking awesome, and I love you, every one of you.
Love you.
So,
every one of us. I don't know. You're definitely not talking about.
Oh no, I don't fucking love you, NotJah, but everyone else I love.
Well, where I am, it's
right.
literally just.
I love you too, Jen.
I can right now.
Are you actually with us there, Eric?
I think she just might have paused it or something. Had a second in between.
So I was going to say, it's just gone past midnight where I am, so I can officially say that my first video went up a month ago. Literally.
Hey.
Oh,
Nice.
So I'm
Yours is about
1
the same
month
as
old.
Sam. He started about the same time this time round.
Yeah, about the same time, and he's got twice as many subscribers.
Oh, fuck off! How does that happen? Everyone,
because he's been working for the last 2 weeks when I've been on holidays. That's how.
I was pretty lucky.
Well, that's why I want to do a collab with both of you.
So.
I want to do a collab with both of you and try and lift you up a bit and get you a few more subs.
Well, look what happened with me and Meryl. We were neck and neck at the beginning.
Yeah,
she just freaking exploded away from me. It's like, fine.
Blame Paul for that. It's entirely Paul's fault.
Yeah. So now I'm dealing with 1 minute. That's my favorite NotJah picture.
Yeah,
really? This one? Oh.
Yeah, there's something I just like that one.
In all honesty, I did in that one.
I think I'm 5 weeks now.
5 weeks?
In one day, it'll be 5 weeks since my first. I had a big lunch.
Sorry.
We need to do those videos we've been talking about, doing and really make it. I mean, what we were talking about before with Aussie about doing down under discourse, whatever we were calling it. There's enough of us now to really make something like that work properly.
But probably not on this place. StreamYard.
Yeah, but we can shift it around between it, or we can use the Down Under Discourse channel that we made, or whatever we want to do. I actually think it's better for each of us to actually have our own videos on each other's channels at different times, but just get together.
Well, either way, it'd be like an organizational thing for another time, as opposed to on.
Sorry, instead of a thread, I've had 3 drinks. You know what I get.
Just bringing it back. Just bringing it back.
Just reeling it.
Reeling her in. Reeling her in.
Yeah, well, you have to do that with me because I'm rather pissed.
One thing I will say.
Wait a minute. I've had you on streams when you were sober and you still do this.
There goes her excuse. God, just blew a cover, man.
I was going to say,
sort of bro are you?
Let her have the excuse.
I have an excuse at the moment.
We all have to
this
rationalize
time.
behavior. We don't have the Bible to rationalize anymore, so now it's booze.
Before I join your streams.
Unless you're drinking at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and then you really should, get that looked at.
Saturdays?
No, I don't drink. Who did I just talk over? I'm sorry, Sam.
No, it's all right. It was an off-the-cuff, smart-ass remark, so it's fine. And they've drawn attention to it, and it's just kind of dead.
Everyone now just let Sam just speak.
Don't you hate when those moments get passed over because they were perfect at the moment, and then they're gone, and you can't recreate that motherfucker.
Yeah, and when everyone draws attention to it, it just gets worse and worse.
You don't want to dig that deeper.
Just stare at Sam and just make him really
full screen Sam.
I am so sorry, Sam. I heard you say it, but my mouth was way past my ears.
That's all right. That's all right.
There you go, Sam.
Nice.
Do you like my sparkly background?
It's beautiful.
I do. I was admiring that before.
Yeah, there it is.
That's really well done.
I started 10 minutes early and I set that up. I tried to Twitch stream at one point, so I've got like a few bits and pieces around. That didn't go well. I made one thing. That's all right.
Bother putting it across my green screen because I haven't been bothering with it lately. I am thinking of putting a
your background's not too bad, actually. I don't mind your background too much.
It's my bed.
There's a reason.
It's lovely.
I've
Look,
cleaned
have
up
you not
my
watched?
holiday, so
dude, that's why haven't you got that as your? Wait, stop. Go back down. Go back down.
Leave that.
Look at that. Look at that shit. That's rad. Why haven't you got that as your background? What the fuck is wrong with
Look
you?
how messy it is.
That's bullshit. No, that's awesome. No,
turn the chroma key up.
Don't touch it. No. Oh, bro. Oh, we missing out. We did. We are missing out.
Your background's awesome.
When it's all in order,
That was
then it'll be there.
When or
okay.
if?
Well, yes, thank you. If
a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Like I said, my green wall is being covered in posters. That can't be because that is actually where the window is, and it's covered in a great big thick ass blanket because it actually helps to insulate this room because this room gets cold as all fucking winter.
And then it gets stinking hot as well when.
No, that actually helps keep the heat out as well. So I leave it up all the time. The window never gets open. Which is pretty slack, I know, but I'm not out here that wow. I used to not be out here that much apart from to sleep, but yeah, I'm out here quite a lot now.
I'll be back in a moment. I got to put him back because it's not good for him to be out for so long.
See you, buddy.
Bye, Lucius.
I need more alcohol. I wonder if there is any more.
See you later, Lucius.
Do you know what?
Yeah, look, he's saying bye.
See you later, guys. I actually really like how much everyone has really responded to him.
He is fucking awesome, Mary.
He is such a sweetheart. And
I was actually looking at a terrarium today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just don't know. With having 5 cats in the house, I just don't know how it would work.
No, and also the cats will attack the snake.
Yeah, the cats will just see a string that moves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they will attack and kill the snake. But,
yeah, they already sit in front of the fish tank.
Yeah. So, but the one thing I really appreciate with everybody is how accepting and loving that everyone has been towards Lucius. Like a lot of people have actually told me that if it wasn't for like a lot of people were really, really afraid of snakes, but they really like Lucius because of the
because he bites you.
Except when he bites you live on a show.
But,
and then everyone that fell in love with him and I'm not afraid of snakes because of him, all of a sudden will go, yep, nope, don't like snakes again.
No, I think a lot of people just laugh about it, but
I wish you had when he bit you on the eye. That would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually really disappointed that I didn't actually get a photo of it. But at the same time, there was a snake trying to eat my eyelid, so.
Priorities, Mara. The picture was clearly more important.
I did try.
The picture was more important.
But no, I really appreciate it.
200 more subscribers.
What was that?
Yeah, exactly.
200 more subscribers.
Yeah.
Priorities, Mara.
Exactly. See, Jen
Have
gets
you ever had a snake try and eat your eyelid? It's not fun.
No, but I'd love to film it.
But no, I really appreciate
next time. NotJah, that's your job.
Yeah, no, I really do appreciate everyone's acceptance and
NotJah, if you happen to be visiting Mary when that happens and you can film it, I want audio because I want to hear you laugh at your fucking head off.
Yes, yes, I broke Jay.
I just looked up.
You broke Jay.
So you do that all the time. I look away and then I look back and there's something different.
I know how to make it a good time.
The one that still gets me is that one I got up and did something and I come back and I'm looking around and I look up and there's this dude shaking his ass on the screen.
I see you, baby. Shaking your ass.
We did that one a bit earlier.
No, Dave, you don't need clothes. It's perfectly fine. We love you naked.
That was one of them too. I'm like, what the hell?
Hey, I keep it PG, y'all. I keep it PG.
I have a problem with that still, though. I mean, as you know that it's his head afterwards, does that mean he was giving a blowjob?
Oh, nice.
Maybe he was giving good ear.
That no.
Oh dear.
Let's see how that goes. Wait,
this stream is never going to be monetized.
No, this still has a chance.
Viewers
Actually,
that is clearly Batman enjoying fireworks.
To be quite frank, my gifts would not have anything to do with that. It would be more about the language that we've used. That would get it demonetized.
Yeah, I agree, Nacho. I destroyed any chance of this being able to be monetized before Mara even got to
it. I mean, to be fair, in like 4 weeks, you're gonna have to mark this as, you know, for children, just in case, right?
Oh, absolutely, yes,
definitely not safe for children.
Yeah, mark it for children.
But no, because I'm a cartoon, they'll clearly then fine you.
Yeah, we've got cartoon
it's
celebrity.
Yeah, you're fucked either way, man.
So what are you going to do about it?
It's actually a joke, but that's not actually that much of a joke. You kind of are fucked either way for people like
that's the thing. Like even if it doesn't affect directly the videos, it affects the audience that'll be on YouTube.
I think I'm fine because there isn't a video I haven't sworn in.
No, but that's the thing. Like you think of all the massive videos and the massive creators that have huge appeal. People come to YouTube to look at those. They come to look at game theory. They come to look at Mark Rober. If they can't make their content, people won't click onto YouTube and they won't click onto our stuff either. So it's
kind
of a bummer.
Yeah, I can't help thinking that this is old-fashioned media trying to pull another Swiftie on YouTube more than the FTC trying to.
It's lobby and pressure groups that are just trying to force their ideals on new media. Shits me.
But like, for example, one of my favorite.
Nice.
Oh, because of whatever was doing.
Yeah, sorry.
I remember, like one of my favorite YouTube video channels, Snake Discovery. NotJah. It's just weird.
Is it bad to say that kind of looks like Ozman?
It does.
Oh dear.
Sorry, Ozman.
Anyway, but she has an amazing channel there, and she's also. You could very easily argue that she's aimed at children because it's all about education about snakes. And she doesn't swear. She's very, very honest, very, very good. If you want to learn about snakes, go on to Snake Discovery. And she's going to be could be argued that she would be hit by copper. And that could buy her channel. And she's got over 1 million subscribers. I think last time I checked, I think she was 1.2 million. That was a while ago.
It's crazy.
So she's probably up much higher. It's just ridiculous because
the same thing goes for all the creator channels like Tested and Alex Steele and people like that, because they deliberately make content that's suitable for everybody, and they're going to end up in the same position, aren't they? That they they're making content that could be considered for kids. How do you get around this?
By opening your videos with, "This is not for you, you fucking kids." Click away. Now, for the rest of you.
But also,
some people are doing that.
Copper does actually include a general audience, so both kids and adults thing. But YouTube didn't actually include that. There was I watched a video on I can't remember who it was, but there was a video that was released by one of those legal channels where they were like, no, there's a part of Copper that allows both children and adult content to be advertised. And,
the thing that's sorry, go.
And that was something that YouTube refused to implement because of it'll impact their bottom line.
They snookered themselves because of all the written comments they made to advertisers saying we are the #1 children's destination online. We have the most kids viewing content out of any platform that you'll find. Basically, that's what came to court. And because they did have things like YouTube Kids and stuff, the court basically said, well, yes, you've got that, but kids are on your main platform with your main videos and you haven't done enough. So here's a massive fine.
Yeah.
Just such a bummer.
Some of the content that I create could be considered to be aimed at kids. Like, for example, my chemistry stuff.
Okay. But the other thing is as well, they got the massive fine, but now it's not like they're trying to turn that around on the people that had incurred them to get that fine, like the creators that caused them to be fined. All they've done is gone, okay, we've taken this fine and now we're turning it around, and you, as every single one of you creators, big or small, if the government thinks that you're doing something that looks like it's, related to something children would like, we now have the right to fine you independently of YouTube.
And that's the thing, like, attractive to children is the phrase that they use from memory.
Yeah, and
when
it can
I was
be
a kid,
anything.
I was attracted to a shit ton of stuff that was not PG or lower.
Dude, what kid doesn't want to watch action movies and porn?
Yeah. Terminator 2, Girls Gone Wild.
One of the earliest movies I ever watched was Aliens.
I seen Conan the Barbarian in live on
that one
drive-through. So yeah.
The first movie I ever saw in a drive-in was the original Star Wars.
But I grew up watching movies like Terminator. Like, honestly can tell you that one of the earliest movies I ever watched was Aliens, where things were bursting out of people's chests. And I grew up watching the X-Files, which was M-rated.
The tapeworm guy gave me nightmares.
X-Files gave me nightmares.
They gave me nightmares.
And I was a freaking teenager. So
it was horrifying.
Watch
so you can't say something is not attractive to children.
Actually, to be honest, I still can't watch horror flicks. So
yeah, neither can I. But I was traumatized by The Cube. That's what.
Oh no, I can watch that.
I'm not watching horror movies anymore because The Cube just fucked me around.
The last horror movie I properly watched was The Grudge. And
that's not a proper horror movie.
Oh, fuck off!
Oh, come on, it is proper horror.
Unless you watch the original Japanese version.
Oh, screw you.
I know where you're coming from, but the English version does have enough horror elements. It is horror.
Yeah, and I couldn't sleep for 3 nights straight. I was that freaked out from it.
So
that's why I don't watch horror flicks.
Not to get into the Japanese versus English version, but the first time I watched the English The Ring, as soon as the credits came up, my phone fucking rang. And as soon as I picked up the phone, it went click, and I'm like, and then it clicked in, and it was some fucking telemarketer. I'm like, I'm not even old enough for this shit, dude. What are you calling me? But yeah,
that's hilarious.
No,
that's my Israel Folau story for tonight.
One of the worst movies I ever watched for that was Misery. Because
no, you've never seen Misery? Stephen King's
don't
Misery?
Watch it, Mary. Do not watch it.
That is a classic.
It was one of those things where everyone had to watch it to man up, basically. And
really?
Oh, there you go. The Xenomorph.
I didn't mind Aliens. It was different.
Yeah, that's gore horror. Psychological horror gets me. That's why I think
that's what Misery is. Misery is all about somebody who's an obsessive fan who kidnaps the person they're fanning over and basically tortures them.
Yeah, I think
it's much worse in the book.
I was going to say, that's the one.
Well, I'm never reading the fucking book because the TV show freaked me out for days.
Yeah, well, I think that was the thing that really fucked me around with The Cube is not the fact that they all kind of died horrible deaths, but the fact of the matter is that they got there and they had no idea why.
Yeah, it's the same reason
how did we get here?
What's the one about all the people who Saw? I couldn't watch Saw.
Oh, Saw? I've got all of them here somewhere.
Yeah, shut up, Jay. Don't talk about it.
I've got them all here somewhere.
1 to 4 are primo. I really like the storyline through 1 to 4.
Oh, for God's sake. I'm going
to
take
last one, though, Jigsaw was actually pretty good.
Tell me when it's safe, people.
Yeah. Jigsaw was actually pretty good, but yeah, the last couple of them were kind of junk.
Yeah. The ones that are a bit too much, hey, healthcare system's kind of shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
I actually had a question.
See, I don't mind creepy and bloody stuff. That's fine. It's that psychological shit because it fucks with me.
Jay, I have a question for you in regards to the American healthcare system. If you are a victim of a crime, so let's say you got mugged and you had to be in hospital for X amount of days, who pays for that?
You do.
You do.
Holy shit!
Unless, well, no. Now let me rephrase that. You will have to pay for it unless you can actually take the person that assaulted you to court and have the court award you settlement, so they have to pay for your medical bills. But if you get mugged or assaulted and they don't know who did it, you're stuck holding the bill.
That's bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah. Get proper healthcare, Jay. Yeah, I'm sorry, you can't be fully Australian until you get proper healthcare.
I've been listening to a podcast where and it's just basically about gay violence, like violence against gay people in Toronto, and they were talking about violence that happened to transgender people in Detroit. And there was a woman, she was shot and she was paralyzed for 8 months, and she was in hospital pretty much the entire time. And I was like, who's paying for that? Because, if you don't have health insurance and you got shot and you're in hospital for 8 months, how are you going to be able to afford it?
Look, Maro, you don't understand, you see. The sort of healthcare systems that we've got here, they're just, and in reality, they're just a pipe dream. Like, you can't act, like, no real country could actually implement successfully these sort of healthcare. Like, ours is failing. Like, we're all dying here, don't you?
Yeah, there's death panels and everything.
Yeah, well, it's the same with gun control, isn't it? You can't actually have gun control. It's an illusion.
Yeah,
No, of course. Especially not a bunch of redneck gun-toting motherfuckers. You can't do it.
No, and they're going to just commit crimes anyway. Like, the guns are just going to end up in the hands of criminals. So
I know we've had a whole, 1 or 2 or something mass murders in the last 2 decades, 3 decades since it was fucking implemented. It's so bad.
I think there's 48 hours.
Oh yeah, the one I'm thinking, the one that made it implement, and then there was one. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I think that's 4. I think there's been about 4.
I think
it depends on whether it's 3 or 4 or 4 or 5.
So there's actually only been 1.
There's different definitions.
Yeah, it depends on the definition.
It's according to our definition.
I'd also like to point out that most. If you take it down to the lower definitions, most of those mass murderers weren't with guns; they were with fire.
I did not know that.
We now have to ban fire.
Yeah, we have to.
They no longer have barbecues. No more barbecues, guys.
Yeah, normal barbecues.
I can't live in a world without barbecues.
Oh, we need to give Pastor a shot. I think
what's that,
Pastor? Cut in for a while.
Yeah.
I was going to say, this is the thing that baffles me, and I'm, I guess, in Australia, what would be considered a conservative. So, and I'm on the right side of politics. It absolutely baffles me that conservatives in the US argue about healthcare and guns. Like, it just makes no sense. Absolutely makes no sense. It's and every I speak to, I guess, conservatives or right-leaning people in other parts of the world, and the US is an absolute anomaly.
It's a shit show over here. It's all about the dollar, is what it is.
Admit, I've got a problem.
The guns are
sober up.
But this is the thing. Capitalism is what you have in the version of capitalism that you have in America is not that different to what we have and a lot of places have. And it is all about the dollar here too. It's just like any other market when you as a people decide that that's not a market that should be making that buck. That's all that it's about. Like, you have to come to that final conclusion and lay down a line in the sand as to where you want it to be in when it comes to regulations and all that jazz. But that's like, that's all it really, like, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, there's our biggest problem I see is the lobbyists that we have pushing the candidates or the members of Congress so much money for them to vote their way. And it just became on who politics. It just became who can hand out the most money gets the vote.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's gone. That's why we still have the horrible gun control we've got. That's why we don't have universal health care. Is because of big pharma and in places like the NRA are giving Congress so much money. You know, they're like voting the way
Christian
that they want.
Christian lobbies are the same way.
Yep, the Christian lobbies are the same way. We just like I just seen an article just a couple days ago. There's a school district now in Ohio that it is okay for you to get a scientific question wrong as long as it conforms to your religion.
Yeah, I heard about this.
I heard that.
How the hell does that work? It's on the right.
It doesn't. No,
it doesn't work.
Shouldn't.
That religious freedom.
Yeah.
It's got absolutely nothing to do with what we're discussing. But you guys have Miller's over East as well, don't you?
Have what?
Miller's shop.
Miller's.
You don't have
beer.
Miller's?
What do you mean Miller's?
Oh, the beer.
No, it's a clothing shop.
Oh.
Oh, the clothing shop. Yeah.
I know Uniqlo.
You know they've got a sale on at the moment where nothing's over $20.
Oh, really?
Well, that is fucking random, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry. I just did.
She said it was off topic.
Like, what a couple of tops
It
there
was really
today.
random and out there.
Wow, oh my god, that was really off topic.
So what did you get for that sponsorship deal?
I've had 3 drinks. What do you expect?
What a plug.
I'm actually going to have to go because I have to work tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I gotta
and I've been awake since I've been awake since 6:30 this morning. I've had a nap, which is why I've been able to handle so far.
Have a nap, Maro. We
but
love
I
you.
have to go back to sleep. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for
Night.
joining.
Bye.
And I hope everyone is watching. Have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever time you are seeing this. And don't forget, don't give yourself the raw prawn.
I shouldn't laugh.
Right, now we can talk about it.
So that
Marrow. Yeah, that Marrow.
Yeah.
Should we be winding this up because it's getting very late for you guys?
I have a question, just real quick. Pastor, were you an actual pastor?
No, I never actually got ordained. The reason I went for the name was because it was prophesied over me a few times that I was going to be a pastor and I was going to do great things for the Christian community. So this is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek sort of
twist on it.
Okay. Yeah. It's I had the qualifications. I could have been ordained. I was certainly in church leadership. I was for lack of a better term, I was a worship pastor. So I used to head up with the songs and that kind of thing.
Did you sing?
Oh yeah, I wrote songs, everything.
Performance.
I was the
and some atheist worship leaders.
Absolutely.
I want to do some more parodies of some Christian songs. I think it'd be an awful lot of fun.
But that's not how the song goes.
I don't give a fuck. But that was an awesome comment on that video. That really was. I couldn't believe somebody actually posted that. Like, do you not realize it was a fucking parody, you idiots?
So no, the plan was I was going to be a pastor. I went and studied a Bachelor of Theology and a Bachelor of Ministry, and as soon as I started looking at the Bible, I realised it was all bullshit. So that was the end of that.
Here's a question: how far did you get in your Bachelor of Theology?
Second year.
Hey, so did I. Nice. What's the favorite thing you learned at Bible school?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I had a favourite. There was certainly some interesting things. Probably the biggest thing for me was a subject called Introduction to Old Testament. That was the hardest thing for me because it was such a straight 6,000-year-old young Earth creation model. I had a teacher who he wrote a few books, and he wasn't a bad guy actually about praying in the Spirit. It was very Pentecostal. That was probably my favourite part at the time. I guess looking at it now, it's probably more the historical side of things. I'm actually doing the plan is I'm going to be doing a PhD in history. So I've always had that interest. So I guess the historical side of things and looking at and digging right into what the Bible says and what was going on at the time. That was probably the best thing at the time for me. But
you should do a collab with Digital Hammurabi.
Yeah, possibly. I haven't met him yet, but
yeah, both of them.
Both of them.
Yeah. Both of them.
That's what I said. Yeah. But, I'm doing I'm doing I'm sort of late to the party, but I'm doing my degree in history and politics with the plan to go and make that a PhD in history. So.
Cool.
Mainly history, though. I did the ancient history thing, and it just frustrates me.
Fair enough.
Are we going to be rapping, or because otherwise I might?
I think we should rap. I'm late
thinking
for everyone except me.
We've just gone to 2.5 hours, so I'm thinking we might call it night. So thanks guys for coming on. Anyone who's actually managed to stay on until the end, well done. That's 2.5 hours.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, credit.
You could have watched Lord of the Rings almost.
Almost.
We're not that good. Yes.
We're better.
I didn't say which movie.
So this Sunday, I'm actually going to be. I've actually got Dave Worley on the channel, so that's going to be a fun one.
Hey, Worley.
All the fun that's happened this way. So this week. Too many drinks. Sorry, it's 12:30 where I am. So
I thought I was the one who'd had too much to drink.
Well, that bottle of wine we were talking about.
Oh fucking hell! That was full, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
a couple beers too, right?
Oh wow!
You know, when I was in the Navy,
nice.
When I was in Japan, there was an Australian ship come. I can never remember the name of the ship, and we went out drinking with a bunch of the Aussies. And the first night we just drank beer, and they just drank us under the table. I mean, but the next night we went out and we drank liquor, and I don't know what about them Aussie sailors, but they could not hold their liquor. They were didn't even make it halfway through the night.
Oh,
they must have been Victorians.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Tasmanians.
But like I said, when it came to beer, I mean, we were stumbling, stupid, drunk, and they were acting like nothing ever happened. But when you switched over to liquor the next night, it was picking them up, carrying
they
them
were
back
probably
to
still
ship.
hungover from the day before.
It was
They probably never popped throughout the fucking day.
Aussies should be able to take their rum pretty well, to be fair.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like we use some good hard liquor here.
We're considered up there with the Scottish for our ability to handle alcohol. I am an exception.
No. I'm going to stop that right now. No, wait. My best mate is Scottish, and I can tell you now, he doesn't even come close to keeping up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I lived in Scotland for a year, and they are not great.
Scottish people who give money, so yeah. They don't have the. I am a bad example for an Australian drinker because 3 drinks and I'm rather tiddly. So
tiddly or fiddly? What did you say?
Tiddly, not
both.
fiddly.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I'm a bottle
and everybody who's not Australian has no fucking clue what I'm talking about.
Well, we might wrap it up there. So everyone who's watched and everyone who's watching in the future, if you're here now, thank you. Wow, well done. 2.5 hours and a lot of it piss talk. So well done.
Yeah, I know, right?
Israel Folau, if you've managed to watch this, fuck you.
Fuck off, you cunt.
Don't come to America.
No.
Go to America.
Right
over.
No.
Go to Canada.
No. Let's give him to England.
No, give him to Canada. No one here to defend Canada.
Yeah, give him to Canada.
Actually, Jay, we'll talk to you offline when we end the broadcast because we've got something planned. But yeah, everyone, thank you very much, and have a good one. Cheers.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. See you later.
Don't choke on the selfie stick.
Be wise.